Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show for Panther fans by Panther fans. I'm your host, Cody Lashley, back at you again with another show for you to join. That's right. If you would like to be a part of today's show, you can be a part of the action by clicking the link pinned to the top of the YouTube and Facebook chat. Jump in via Streamyard. Let everybody know what you think about the Carolina Panthers and their 2024 prospects. OTAs are officially underway. Everybody is excited about Xavier Legette, and some people trying to figure out what my man said during the press conference. It's all right. We're going to figure it out together with my homeboys, my dogs. They comprise the C3 Legion, and I would go to war with these gentlemen any day of the week. You already know him and love him. First up on deck, he's not on camera yet. He doesn't need to be either, because his legacy assumes him. It's the one, the only. He might tell you to shut the hell up. It's Panther Pickle. What's up?
Hey, man, I tell you what. We have a decent team heading into this year. I don't know that we're Super Bowl. Let me rephrase that. We're not going to be Super Bowl. I don't think. Okay. I don't think the players or the coaches have enough balls or talent to make us Super Bowls. But maybe not yet. But they're developing, and eventually they're going to reach the maturity level and be that. Myself, I'm not going to turn my back on them just because I didn't get who I wanted. Whether it's the draft, free agency, or the coaching staff. But if you or anybody else want to cry because you didn't get your way, shut the hell up, you dumb sons of bitches.
Oh, shit. We're not even 5 minutes into the show. I got people being called dumb sons of bitches. Hey, man, listen. Look, man, this is the show for you to let out your Panthers opinion. So do what Pickle just did, man. Come on up here, let your voice be heard. We're going to talk about it all today. And, before I go any further in my intros here, we'll get into it a little bit later. Dave Canales might have given my favorite press conference speech that I've seen him do yet. And part of it was because of the things that he revealed and a little bit of the process into how he wants these guys to grow and evolve. I thought it was very informative. We'll get into that a little bit later today. Next up, you already know we got the brand ambassador in the building for the free-for-all. It's my man, Diesel Skills. Brother, what's up, man?
Man, I tell you what's up. C3 is the C3 Panthers Podcast, the longest running Panthers podcast with the best community for the fans. Why do I say that? Because the C3 Legion, and of course this show right here, the Friday Free For All. Not to put down the Tuesday show, you can be a part of it too. That's my point of saying all this. You can come give your opinion on the C3 Legion Spaces. That's Mondays at 6:30. And Thursday at 6:30 is our primary shows. Now, we do secondary ones too, hanging out, talking ball, and we want you guys to join. If you want to get in there and you have an opinion about the Panthers, we'll absolutely let you speak. Just get in there and get your hand up so we can include you in this conversation and you can join the fun that we're having here in C3. The Tuesday show, if you want to be a part of that, that's 252-228-5098. You're welcome to call that any time of the week and leave a message, and they'll play it on the Tuesday show so you can be a part of C3 and join this wonderful community. And, of course, like Cody said, the link is in the description. Join the C3 Panthers Podcast, the greatest Panthers podcast there ever was, there ever will be, and they're in all its glory. So anyway, moving on, Cody. Let's have a great night here on the Free For All. Just wanted to invite others to join the C3 Panthers podcast and let them know how they can do so. So Come on in and give your Panthers opinion with us. We want you to be a part of the C3 family. Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, bro, what a time to give your opinion, man. We have a bunch of spaces here on the show, some open spaces for people to come on here and have their voices heard, man. We got Panthers in the building today for OTAs. We got a lot to talk about, man. There seemingly always is. Next up, my dog. The dedication is real. It doesn't matter where he's at. He's going to come on the free-for-all, baby. It's the homie Kyle. Kyle, what's up, dude?
Shit, man. You know me. Fuck work. I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck that. But yeah, man, it's another great show. I'm ready for all the takes and all that fun. OTAs looks good. I mean, and to everybody out there talking about, the missed throws, it's the first fucking day of practice. Shut your mouth.
He gave y'all a Panther pickle. He told y'all to shut the hell up. Hey, man, shout out to number 2, whoever the quarterback is wearing number 2. He did not have a good day online, man. They were roasting him over some Mr. Bless his little heart.
I can tell you who that is by that.
He was throwing like me.
Shane Chambers from
Oh,
Montana State.
all right,
Okay, he's from Montana State. We know there's no good football come from Montana State.
Montana has a football team?
Yeah, who knew they had
That's
football?
probably the best player from Montana.
Bro, they just got football 2 years ago. They got football 2 years ago. Take it easy on them, y'all. But no, appreciate you for being on here. Next up, we got my man Jake the Snake. What's up, brother? How you doing on the free for all?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great, chilling, man. I hope everybody was safe during the storm. I know it was bad. Well, at least here it was really bad.
Yeah,
Had multiple trees down, multiple power lines down. And, man, it was definitely scary, man. I hope everybody was safe, but I'm enjoying my Friday, chilling. Hope everybody's having a great day.
Just heard. I was fortunate up here in Charlotte, man. There was bad weather, and the power went out for like a second and then turned right back on, man. So thank God, man. But shouts out to and prayers to everybody that was affected by it, man. I know it took out some power lines, some houses and stuff. Hey, man, can't tempt Mother Nature. She is undefeated. Next up, my man Cole back in the building. Cole, what's up, dude?
Cody, what's happening? I made a huge mistake today already, bro. I haven't watched too many opening pressers. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And the reason I haven't is because I didn't want to feel like I feel right now. After listening to Legette and then the running back dude, as far as down the road, I feel like we have some true leaders on this team, and I'm actually starting to feel very hopeful for the future, my friend.
Yes, sir, man. Xavier Legette continues to grow his fan base. The more and more we hear him talk, the more and more we hear his mentality, what he's made up, what he's about. I love the dude so far, man. I can't wait to see what he's capable of.
Love him.
Yes, sir. Last but never least, my final intro, Mr. Strats. Welcome back to the Free For All, brother. How are you?
Very good, thanks. Unfortunately, unlike Cole, I haven't been watching a whole lot of press stuff this week. I've been watching a lot more of Miss Rachel, so always fun times there.
All right.
You're better off. I just watched today, and I shouldn't have done that, Strat, so it's okay.
Well, it's the only thing he likes, my son. That's the only thing he likes, so.
Hey, you said Harry Potter was your son's thing, right?
Well, he loves that too, but the past week he's been far more into Miss Rachel. But yeah, he loves that too.
Nice. Well, we appreciate y'all, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. Gentlemen, I'm about to show this clip of Xavier, but I really want to talk about the run game first. But this clip that the Panthers put out, the type of stuff that has everybody excited, man. Xavier Legette going up, pinpointing the ball, bringing it down. This is the type of skill set that we wanted to see from him. He had another interview today, had another press conference, and we'll play a clip of it here in a minute where we play who's able to understand Xavier Legette this week. And I find that it's a real skill. If you're used to being around real country accents, then it's not hard to follow what my man is saying. If you're not used to it, it's going to take you a little while. But this is what you're going to stay for. My man Xavier Legette already looking impressive, making plays. Boys, I noticed a lot of people were talking online about how physically impressive Xavier Legette is. What are your sort of thoughts and feelings seeing him for the first time in Panther colors and with the helmet on?
Thoroughbred, Cody. Looks like a damn racehorse out there. I love it.
Hey, I heard him talking, and he was talking about his horses, and I can't help it, y'all, and forgive me, but I remember another number 17 who loved horses, and that's the first thing I thought of when I heard
Jake
him.
Delhomme?
Yes, Jake Delhomme loved horses. He races horses. He's got
I
several
was
know that.
about to say,
horses. He does, and he wore number 17, and that's pretty wild to me. But that's just what I can't help.
I was about to say Devin Funches, huh? I didn't know
No.
Funches.
That would be comical.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know Funches rode horses. And oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jake Delhomme,
Yeah.
that-
Well,
that-
by the way, speaking of Funches, I hope he enjoys his basketball career in somewhere in South America. I think.
yeah. Shout out Devin Funches. He signed to a professional basketball team. But where you said South America?
I think so. I don't know where it was. It's in Colombia,
Probably.
wasn't it? Is it Colombia in South America?
I'll pull it up. I'll
No, no.
we'll find
Yeah.
out for
Yep.
sure what it is. But
Yep.
any other thoughts about Xavier Legette? Everyone's saying they were not expecting Homie to look so beefy. No, Paul.
Yeah.
He looked.
I'd go ahead, Strats. Go ahead.
Well, I'll be quick. I just wanted to say when we did the film review,
Yeah.
we talked about like I think it was Adonai Mitchell and him and a few others, but he really stood out for that skill set of being able to go up and get the ball and come down with it. And then at the time, I didn't even think about this, but then someone showed maybe a few days ago. I think I posted something about it, but his speed, he had, I forget what it was, but in one game, he was like faster than the fastest player in the AFL this past season or something like that,
True
which we
stat,
didn't
my
know.
friend.
Yeah, but best of both worlds. How can you not love this?
Yeah. I
David
agree.
Ellis in his presser, he talked about, just to back you up, Strats, he talked about how the quarterbacks out there were having to adjust to having a receiver that big and that fast at the same time. They didn't expect for Xavier to run those routes so quickly. And that's why we saw those balls getting thrown behind him. He even went on to say at their school, they probably didn't have a wide receiver the size and the speed of Xavier Legette. And
It makes sense.
Heck yeah. When he broke that record or whatever, when I first saw that was like months and months ago. I know it just got popular recently, kind of more for the Panthers, but I saw that tweet online, and it was like 2 or 3 months back where he had run the fastest miles per hour in game, even faster than Tyreek Hill in the NFL last season. So got to be excited about the X-Man. Let's go.
Yeah, man. And hey, shout out to the X-Man. I even like that we got the Marvel comic thing going still, We
Yes,
lost
sir.
a Spider-Man and we gained an X-Man. I dig it, bro. I dig it straight up.
Yeah.
I like his
X-Men are
vibe.
better than Spider-Man anyway.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, you were talking about horses.
Oh,
Let's play
yes.
a clip of him talking about Dollar Bill.
How old were you when you wrote your first one?
When I was about 5 years old, and ever since I was a little boy, my uncle, he would bring the horses to my house every day for my birthday, and then we'll go out there to the horse stable on the weekend.
You have your own horse?
Oh yeah,
What's his name?
Dollar Bill,
What's that?
Dollar Bill.
Dollar Bill?
Yeah, it's a racket horse. One on one that step pretty.
That was my next question. Is like a quarter horse?
Oh yeah, it's a quarter horse. We got some race horses. Yeah. Oh, he about 15.
Bro, you know Xavier Legette is so fun to hang out with. Like, that's the homie, yo. Like, that's the you could be on a boat out in the middle of a lake, man, drinking a beer, having a cold one, catching some fish. Bro, that's the homie right there, man. It's like, again, he has a vibe, man. He's just like he just comes off like a good, genuine, down country home dude, man. Like, I just think that's cool, man. He has a great energy about him. And
Cody.
they're talking about that athleticism. Man, the sky is the limit if we're able to get him rolling in this offense. Go ahead, Stratch.
I agree with you. I was just going to add on to saying that I would be shocked if this pick didn't work out for us.
Lots of confidence in Xavier Legette. I'm liking that, man. And that's what leads me into the conversation I wanted to have So we didn't get a chance to talk about this on the previous free for all because it hadn't happened yet. But the Panthers have gone on to sign Rashad Penny, who has a lot of history with Dave Canales. Ran in the same offense, had a great year with Dave Canales when he was with Seattle. Ran for 700 yards. Now all of a sudden the Panthers running back room is loaded. The O-line seems to be revamped. And you have Dave Canales continuing to talk about how dedicated we're going to be to pounding the rock and running the football. My question to you all, and I'll let anyone and everyone jump in on this, are the Carolina Panthers poised to be an elite run team in 2024? Let me know your thoughts.
I hope, but I'm not putting myself out there like that. I hope they are, but I'm not ready to say they will be until I see it. But I sure hope they are. I do like the way Canales basically said if Penny's healthy, he's going to be the third down back without saying it. Because he basically said, and if you listen to his press conference, now, excuse me, that's the way I took it. Because he said that Rashad Penny can return kicks. He did it up there. Yeah. And he talked about how good he is in all facets. Said he's been healthy for almost 2 years now. He was just buried on the depth chart in Philly. And if you add all that together and you go to ourlads.com, Blackshear's here and Penny's right underneath him. So, Dave Canales said he doesn't hold any allegiances to those already on the roster, but he sure does like Rashad Penny.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. Not that he's lying, but I think that Blackshear is the bottom dog on the totem pole.
I don't think he's at the very bottom, but if you go step by step, he ain't too far from the bottom.
Well, okay,
but I don't think he's on the bottom.
Well, look, this is a great start to the conversation I was wanting to have. Because let's look at it this way, right? So you have Miles Sanders, and regardless of what Panther fans think about Miles Sanders, he has the biggest contract in our running back room right now. So he has nothing to lose. All he's going to do is come in here and do his best to ball out and compete. Maybe the Panthers try and move him, but I don't know what type of value Miles Sanders has right now. I think they're going to give him a legitimate shot. I think Chuba Hubbard represents the type of run offense that they want to be. And on top of that, that you already drafted Jonathan Brooks too. It just sort of seems to me like Blackshear is the odd man out when you consider that Chuba Hubbard has been advancing and getting better every year from year to year. He's been one of our most consistent runners, if not our most consistent runner. So, to me, that says to my mind, Blackshear is on the way out, but they keep on talking about competition and that they're going to let everybody fight for it. So I don't know. What do y'all think?
I think it depends on how healthy Jonathan Brooks is going to be. Like, we could legit have a 1-2 punch like we had with Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams back in the day. Like, we could really have something special. It just depends on how healthy and how ready Jonathan Brooks is going to be. Because, you can't really – from what we seen last year with Miles Sanders, I know from what we heard that he was hurt and stuff like that, but I didn't see nothing out of Miles Sanders. Even when he played, that's like, oh, man, I'm excited for this guy to see him on Sunday. I wasn't. I don't know about y'all. But
yeah,
that's how I feel about it.
Okay. Cole, jumping on this, man. You think we can be in the league one this year? And why?
Elite, Cody, no. But compared to last year, excuse me, I feel like it could be a drastic change for the better. You got to get your money's worth out of the guards, and I feel like we will. We've definitely improved the backfield. I think Penny may start out as that third down role, but, dude, if he starts getting first downs and moving the chains and dictate the tempo of the game, he could get more carries than Chuba eventually. But I do think eventually, hopefully, that our running back, Brooks, will be the bell cow for the backfield. I want to see that. Maybe not this year, but next year for sure.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers celebrating this weekend. The moms makes the world go round, so we appreciate all the moms.
Call your
C3 Happy
mamas.
Mother's Day. That's right. Call your
Well,
mamas.
you want me to
Tell
call
you
her?
love her. Ah, damn it, Pickle.
If you don't, I will.
Let me go to Kyle. Kyle, do you think that the Carolina Panthers have the makeup to be an elite running team this year, or are we putting the cart before the horse?
I'm going to say that we have the capability to be, but I shouldn't hold the expectation that we will be.
Okay, that seems pretty fair. And also, like, as I'm asking y'all that too, like, tell me how y'all think this running back room shakes out. Like, do you think Sanders gets traded? Is Brooks already the running back one coming off of an ACL tear? Like, y'all let me know, because all of a sudden this running back room is very loaded. And I also think it's worth remembering that Rashad Penny at one point in time, I think was averaging like almost 6 yards per carry. Like, that's an absurd number. Like, if this guy gets going, he might be able to do some damage. You upgrade that guard, both of your guard spots in free agency, using a lot of money to do so. You have a lot of running back weapons. I don't know. It doesn't seem crazy to me to say that, you know, the Panthers, if they establish that run and truly commit to being a run first team, why can't we be one of the better running teams in the NFL? Keep the defense off the field.
Okay, let me take a stab at that, Cody.
Yeah.
I would say that Brooks is the running back one of the future. He might not be this year, but he probably will be next year. Just based on the contracts that we have and the players that we have in the running back room. Pickle had mentioned this a little while ago, and or on Space or something. Chuba Hubbard is potentially, could potentially be the running back that gets moved, being that, based on his contract and his, he has good tape from last year. So you could continue to pay Sanders because you kind of have to anyways. And, now you've got Rashad Penny and Brooks on the roster. So, I mean, those could be your three. Those could be our 3 running backs, and we could move off of Chuba because of his contract.
There's
That's
another
just my
factor.
thought on that.
There's another factor being overlooked here, and that maybe this gets a little too technical, but if you have the focus of most of the offensive systems being that of passing, then you have people building their defenses to stack against that type of thing, which weakens them in other abilities. Like, obviously, they're not going to be, you still have to have people that are going to tackle the run, but with less teams being run heavy focused, you're building your defenses to focus on mainly secondary strength and things like that. So I think going back to our roots of run game strength will be a positive in the long run for not just that reason, but for other reasons too. But I think that is a factor to consider.
Yeah, that is something to consider too. That, like, how is your defense built? Right? Like, if you're gonna run the ball, the benefit to that is that you get to have ball control. You're keeping your defense off of the field. And that's been such a problem for us the past few years, is that the defense, even if they're good at getting stops, they're constantly on the football field. So by the time you get to the 3rd and 4th quarter, dude, they're wilted, man. Like, they have nothing left. If you're able to get a run game going, you're able to keep your defense off the field. If you're able to keep them off the field, my mind says, I'm hoping that allows you to have more energy to be more aggressive rushing the passer. Like, I really think that they need to get after the quarterback. And that's something that we did at the bottom of the league last year. We were just not hitting the quarterback enough. The problem is, and this is a whole nother topic, I don't necessarily know if the Panthers have all the ammunition that they need on defense. Like, I'm more confident in the Panthers being a good run team in 2024 than I am in the Panthers being able to stop the run in 2024. Does that make sense? Like, I'm just not sure exactly how we're going to be built on defense yet.
Yeah, I think a lot of that situation is just stuff we just need to wait and see. One thing I want to clear up, if I may, Cody, is a lot of people are saying that come June the 5th or June the 1st, we can cut or get rid of Miles Sanders and save, because it's people have that misunderstood. You don't you can't use the June 1st for 2025 until 2025, until the season. Right now the NFL is in league year 2024. You can't use league year 2025 till league year 2025,
So
which
look,
should kick in around
this is
March.
this is from the presentation on Tuesday night. The Panthers may cut their losses with the 27-year-old Sanders, who still has 3 years remaining on his deal. Sanders could be designated as a post-June 1st cut, which Carolina could eat $7.495 million in dead cap space spread out over the next 2 years, while saving $200,000 for 2024. Or Carolina could just wait a year until moving on from Sanders, saving $5.225 million if they release him in 2025. But Pickle, if that's the truth, to me, it doesn't seem like it's worth it enough to cut him now. It's almost like you might as well keep him on the roster, see if he's healthy, see if the better O-line does something for him this year. Like last year was so bad, we forget that the year before he had over 1,000 yards rushing with Philadelphia. Like if he has a good O-line in front of him, he is capable. Go ahead, Shash.
Was there a conditional? I don't remember. Was there a conditional factor with retaining him? Like, if he has more than X amount of snaps, then we have to give up blah 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 blah. Was there something conditional with him?
I think so. I think there was. There's 13 million is guaranteed at 5.9 signing bonus. There are roster bonuses due on the third day of 2020 of the league years in 2025 and 2026. But now here's what I want to say, if I may. Again, I think Cody is right in a large ways, and it's what I said. If the Panthers have this bulk at running back in the position, and other than, let's hypothetically say, Jonathan Brooks, for example, gets a run with it in preseason, right? And he looks the part. Then you want a vet to back him up. Now, not a lot of people say, well, Chuba's under a rookie deal. Yeah, but if a team needs a running back, they're not going to trade for Miles Sanders' contract, but they'll trade for Chuba Hubbard's contract, who ain't making nothing. So
but I also don't like.
And then at the end of the year, before the June 3rd, we could still then get rid of Miles Sanders, because Chuba Hubbard's contract is over after this season. And if you're not planning to give him a long-term deal and you have a window of opportunity to get something from him, you best take it.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody really think that Chuba could get moved? Go ahead, Jake.
No, I was just gonna say, couldn't we I think Miles Sanders could be traded, because isn't there a way that we could pay half his contract and then the other team pays half of it?
Yeah, if the other team wants to. But look at his contract and decide for yourself. If you was that other team, would you take him?
Hell no.
And besides all that, I mean, you got to look, like you said, does Chuba have any trade value? Does Miles Sanders have any trade value? If you were another team, hypothetically, say you're the, I don't know, a team. Say you're the Broncos. I'll just throw a team out there. You're the Broncos and you need a running back. And you're talking to Carolina because you're going to get somebody cheap. You take Miles Sanders, sure enough. And you can say you're going to take Miles Sanders' contract over. You're going to pay all that $7,000.
Well, yeah, but
if you decide to cut him later on, you owe the dead cap to that because you traded for him. Yep. But if you compare it to now Chuba, now your ass is hard to find now.
If there was a team desperate enough to want him, and also you kind of the GM like sold it as like, well, last year everyone sucked on this team, so it's not just him.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Chuba's contract this year, his cap number this year is $3 million. So if you are a NFL GM and you're deciding between Chuba and Miles Sanders, explain to me why you would give nearly $8 million for Miles Sanders, who's almost 30 or 30, comparable to a 25-year-old Chuba Hubbard.
Also, I think something to keep in mind here,
because they are two different backs,
that plays in favor for Chuba. Chuba has the best health history of all.
Exactly.
Of them. Jonathan Brooks is coming off of the ACL tear. We know that. Sanders was hurt last year with like a groin or an abdominal injury or something. We know Rashad Penny has an injury history. So it's like Chuba's Mr. Dependable, man. Like, to me, that's why I really think that the guys that are going to be the bottom of the barrel, it's either going to be Blackshear. It's just so hard, man. Like, how many running backs do they keep? I don't know, man.
Well, we had
Penny or Blackshear to me are going to be the odd man out.
I truly believe they keep 4 running backs, and I'm going to predict right here on Friday Free For All. I'm going to predict my 4 running backs to keep. What's that for? Did you not like that idea?
No. I thought about as you said 4 running back. I was like, they're gonna fresh legs this shit. They're gonna swap them in and out. They're gonna keep.
That's what a running game is.
Running back.
That's
not a bad
y'all
thing.
ain't been alive.
No, I would rather do that. No, listen, I would rather. But Pickle, I feel like that's not even an old thing. I feel like that's a new thing. It used to be back in the day you would have that bell cow running back. Now the new trend in the NFL is that running back by committee. Let everybody get a bunch of touches.
Right.
That's why I like it, man. Like
I've seen it. Way back when we were doing Smash and Dash, we were doing Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams. The Giants had 34 running backs they were doing that with. That's you're right. It's kind of a new and old thing at the same time. But I think our running backs this year are going to be Jonathan Brooks, Chuba Hubbard, Rashad Penny, and Miles Sanders.
Oh no.
I think that's going to be our running backs. And who gets active when and what day, it's hard to say. I tell you what, to bust some bubbles, unless Jonathan Brooks comes out like a house on fire, he may be active a couple of the first games.
He might, man.
He just depends on his health.
But never fear, Miles Sanders or Rashad Penny sure ain't gonna stay healthy long.
Damn.
Now I hope I'm wrong. I'll be honest with you. I do like Raheem Blackshear. I do, and I would like. I even think that undrafted running back's very intriguing, but I don't think. I hope Miles Sanders isn't on the roster. I can deal with Chuba, but I'm not. I'm going to tell you straight up. I wouldn't give Chuba Hubbard another contract.
Can we address T-Dog's comment?
Oh yeah, right here. I didn't even read.
It's number one pick. We have 6. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Cody.
Yeah, it's the number 1 draft pick, so we have 6 running backs. How embarrassing. Now, before you answer, this is the sentiment of a lot of people. They're like, man, we traded up for this quarterback, and we're just trying to do the same old Panther thing that we've always done, just run the ball. Like, is there any truth? Is there anything to that? Go ahead, Stretch.
I mean, here's the thing. I think from the standpoint of what the coach is thinking, what the head coach and what Dan Morgan are thinking are effectively like, we don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket, given everything that happened last year. We hope and we think Bryce is going to work out fine, but we want to take some of that burden off of him, focus and get our run game good. And then in that case, we open it up for Bryce to perform well. So I think it's a non-issue, but.
Yeah,
I agree. I want to say, if I may, real quick, I want to say.
I think the little guy didn't like your take, Strats.
I believe you're right. He wants to watch cartoons.
Yeah.
I believe.
Who doesn't want to watch cartoons?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm telling you. That X-Men '97 is pretty good. Y'all gonna try that anyway? Back to
I need to start it. I still haven't started.
yeah, it's really good. I've watched it on Disney Plus. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I've
Anyway,
been trying to watch Fallout.
I understand where people's coming
Haven't
from.
watched it yet,
I'm gonna throw some ideas out
It's
there.
good.
Nobody complained when we spent the first pick overall on a quarterback after the very next previous year we picked a second round pick on a quarterback. Why? Because they liked the new guy and we had a totally different coaching staff. We have a totally different coaching staff. The new guy, the new coach, he's kind of stuck with the old coach or the old quarterback. Bryce is going to be here for at least this year, maybe 2 years. We fans are just going to get over it. And I'm talking to a bunch of fans out there. It aggravates me immensely. I made some comments on when they were doing the presser today over it. I made some comments. A lot of people agree with me. Y'all, I'm sorry. Buttercup, the NFL owners don't give a goddamn what the fuck you think. They don't ask your opinion on the draft. They don't ask your opinion on free agency. You are a fan. Shut your mouth in the stadium and watch the football game. If you have an opinion, that's your right to have an opinion. But in every single avenue, in every single show, on every single conversation, it's I hate Bryce. Bryce is evil. Bryce is the son of a bitch. You know what? There's a lot of fans getting tired of putting up with it. You know? Here's what it is. Just because you didn't pick it, you know what? My grandma told me when I was small because I complained something on the table. And before I got to the complaining, Grandpa reached over and put that plate. And they took it and they set a cup of warm water in front of me. That was my breakfast. Now, my mama didn't like it. My grandma said, this is my house. I have the rules. So I shut my mouth. And you know what? I guarantee you this fat pickle didn't open up his mouth over that one more damn time.
I hear you, but Pickle, I tell you, the more you tell people to fall in line behind Bryce before
they don't have to though. See, that's the problem. People, when I say this, people, I'm not saying fall in line for Bryce. I'm really not. I'm saying I don't want to hear it.
I think he's just
running backs. Why the hell? Okay. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way, okay? And maybe this is a better way of putting it. In my opinion, we shouldn't have traded up. Yeah. That was the stupidest decision any NFL team could ever fucking do, is to trade up. It was a dumbass decision then, and it's a dumbass decision now.
Especially for that much.
I don't buy tickets. I don't. I haven't bought a ticket in my whole life to see the Panthers. I don't buy jerseys. Now, if you have an issue with how it's being run and all you want to do is get on social media and bitch, then that's what you are. Just a bitch. If you still buy the tickets, if you still go buy the merchandise, you are their bitch. Accept it. Well, you can complain about it, but when it comes time to pull that wallet out and you're still doing it, yeah, use J bitch.
So let me
Cody, you got a pickle clip right there. You better clip that.
I got a question after you, Cody.
Well, no, go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
Oh, well, my question is, so is there anybody on here that thinks that we're going to re-sign Chuba after this season? Anybody?
I mean, no. No, like, as much as I like Chuba, it's like they're a dime a dozen, and you just drafted Jonathan Brooks. Probably not, but it just depends on what Chuba does this year. Like, you can, I mean, look at what Deontay Foreman did the year before. I mean, what? He was looking like a beast.
Change.
Yeah, he was looking like a beast, and we were like, nah, we're gonna let him go.
See, country quiz. You did you hear what Cam Newton said? I think it was yesterday or today.
Well, I did hear that he doubled down. I heard that he like.
Oh, I shared that.
I loved it.
I loved it.
He said the truth. How many people on here have
What did he
looked
say?
at
I didn't even hear it. What did he
had
say?
looked at last year's draft and said
I shared it in a group, Cody. If you can find it.
redraft. If you did a redraft of that whole draft, would you have done the redraft? Who would you have took at redraft?
Well,
Stroud.
of course it would have been Stroud because we know that,
That's
Cody
all
loves
Tim
Stroud.
Lee said.
Yeah,
And that's
We
what he
know
said
that
today.
Cody loves Stroud.
That's what he said today. That's all he said. If you were doing a redraft, who would you pick? He said, they ain't one, like he said, there ain't one son of a bitch plays Madden that ain't looked at that shit and said, I wish they'd have took Bryce. I wish they'd have took Bryce. I don't even like Bryce Young. I'll be truthful.
God.
He's not my quarterback I want. I'm just getting tired of the bitching. You bitch in the morning, you bitch at night, you bitch and go to bed. I swear to God, you people are like,
All right, but Pickle.
you know,
I'm
you're
gonna
like
follow
little
everybody
Will.
free for
You
all.
go
Wait,
bitch because you ain't get your
but
way.
Pickle. I need to present the other side to this because while you're tired of listening to everybody bitch about Bryce, on the same spectrum, I'm tired of hearing of the nut huggers too that praise him for every fucking thing.
I
he's
agree to
ever
that
fucking
too.
done. Like the little motherfucker hadn't proven that goddamn thing to anybody.
Bryce
You're
right
right.
now, look, that's
Yeah.
what I've been saying. This year is a make it or break it year for Bryce. And I know it's only year 2, but that's how bad year 1 was. And when you go out and spend over 150 millions at guard, yeah, bro, this is a big time year.
Yep.
And if you don't start to show something this year, you damn right I'm wanting to move forward and move on. Like I have to see something from Bryce this year. I'm not going to continue to wait for him. And I don't think a lot of Panther fans are going to be willing to wait very long for him. So Pickle, you're allowed to, be tired of hearing everyone bitch about him, but just understand they're not going away until Bryce does
neither am
something to
I.
change that shit.
Well,
neither
but
am
it
I.
doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter.
Wait, hold on. Wait, let me let Stratz in. Go ahead, Stratz.
It doesn't matter for this reason. Can you all tell that the way they're building this team up, they're building it up so they can just drop in someone that can be, how did Cam word it last year? A game manager. That's all they need. So they're beefing up everything they can to like get it all right. As granted, there's a lot of things that we needed to fix, so that it's still not going to be perfect this year, but they're just kind of fixing all the holes that they immediately saw, so that if Bryce doesn't work out, they can just kind of, there's other quarterbacks that can at least play the game and not lose the ball, not turn the ball over and just kind of, here, we're going to run it. Okay, do a few 1-2 passes. Okay, run it. So they're setting it up in such a way that Bryce they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. Last year, we kind of put all of our eggs in one basket, and we were very pass heavy. So
True. And in his press conference today, and again, this is like football common knowledge, but Dave Canales did reiterate that everything that we want to do is going to be based upon us setting up this run game and us running the ball effectively and running the ball in a dominant fashion. And if we're able to do that, that opens up the ability to do everything else. And on top of that, the most of our receivers are yards after the catch guy. So theoretically, if you're able to pound the rock and dink and dunk a little bit with some guys that can make something happen, that's going to open up the rest of the field for Bryce, hopefully, to show off that deep ball that we've been waiting to see. That's what everyone's hoping for. That's why I'm not so hard on them being like what C-Dog said. Oh, we drafted a quarterback. Now we're just a run team. Well, no matter what quarterback you drafted,
I'd rather run.
If you want them to put up passing numbers, them to put up passing numbers, you have to be able to run the ball efficiently. And the Panthers haven't been able to do that. That's why I'm glad they're committing to it now.
But if I may again, if y'all remember back in, and you may not, it's been a while. Back in, I think it was at the end of June or the end of January, beginning of February, I said that the Panthers should bring in somebody to push Bryce Young. They should force Bryce to compete for his starting job. And there's a lot of people who didn't like it. I still believe that. I don't believe there's a person on this roster who should. I believe there's a person. Every person on this roster should compete for their job, including J.C. Horn. If I'm the Carolina Panthers, I would not have given that fifth-year option. J.C. Horn needs to prove that he's NFL healthy. Just because you can play good half the year, don't mean you get another contract. You got to be a complete moron to give that out of shape bum another contract. He needs to learn. He needs to figure out how to stay healthy. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey,
Because
real
I
quick, let me.
wouldn't give him another contract. I wouldn't. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. But that's me.
Hey, let me welcome in my brother Anthony. Anthony, what's up, dude?
What's going on, boys? Happy Friday. Happy
Friday, brother. How you living, man?
What's up? Yeah, just working right now. Yeah, just thought I'd pop in.
Anthony, talk about this this run game a little bit. One, talk about how loaded this running back room is. Who do you think is sort of like the odd man out in the equation? And given the upgrades that we've made and how deep the running back room is, can the Panthers be an elite running team this year?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, every single team that's been successful in our history has always been a run-first team. As much as, sometimes we've had really good passing seasons, but that's also based off the play action of the run. Like 2015, Cam was electric, but obviously he can run himself, so he's like a dual threat. But we were a great running team that year. Like the amount of 50-yard runs we just broke off, to make drives so much easier to score points was huge. So this year it's I want them to run the ball. I thought last year, I mean, we've said this. We talked about this many times. I talked about this in my call. Frank Reich just didn't want to run the ball, even though it was the right thing for the team. And even if we don't get if we only get 3 yards a carry this year, but he's sticking to it, then I'll be happy that they're at least committed to what they're doing. And I don't think Canales is stupid in terms of hey, we're just going to keep doing the same thing over again if it's, not working. So I think we could be an elite running team. We were with Wilkes for that period of time, and I think we got the guys to do it. And then for the running back room, I mean, I don't know why you'd keep Miles Sanders at this point. If you're going to cut him next year anyways, just eat it now. Or, I mean, maybe he stays on the roster. I don't know how the money works. If you save money, if he stays on the roster, maybe he gets traded at the deadline. But I just really don't see him playing, to be honest. Just because I don't think he fits the downhill running scheme anyways. He just doesn't. In Philly, he was getting inside zones, and there were huge holes
Outside.
half the time. Yeah, inside, outside zones, all that stuff. So I don't think he's going to be here, to be honest with you. Probably maybe past training camp they move on.
You think they trade him, or you think they wait?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I think his trade value is worth 2 donuts from Dunkin' Donuts and an iced coffee, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if you cut him, you're going to be on the hook for $7 million over the next 2 years if you cut him right now. And you're only saving $200,000 this year.
Well, okay, think about it this way though, Cody. Do you think he has a future here? Because I don't think he does. So
no, but the only running back that I know has a future here is Jonathan Brooks, because we just drafted him. He was a second-round pick. We moved up to get him. Chuba's on the last year of his deal. Miles Sanders is overpaid. Rashad Penny has an injury history, and he's not he's not the future. He's 27 years old. So, yeah, I don't really think that any of them have a lot of long-term leverage. That's why to me, it's kind of get the most out of both of them. Forget what you thought they were last year. Get the most out of them this year. You're not really even going to save a lot of money if you cut Miles Sanders after June 1st. So it's like you might as well just run that running back by committee, let everybody get some touches, and just run it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chuba's going to be running to the ground, but I mean, listen, if the offensive line's good, I think Chuba will have over like 1,100 yards. Like, no joke, I think he will. And I just think this is also like, they probably just want to ease the kid in to the running back room. Like when you're thinking, when everyone's on Twitter, and I know most of you guys have seen it, they're like, well, he's a bell cow running back. All right, cool. So we just got to make sure he can be that bell cow once these guys leaves. Like, we're talking third down back, we're talking catching passes out of the backfield, all that stuff, like a Josh Jacobs or a Christian McCaffrey. Like that, if that's what they want him to be, then okay, cool. Like, I'm all for it. But they got to ease him into the game, especially coming off that ACL injury. You just don't know if he'll be ready to play, like take on that role. I mean,
I hope he is, man.
We didn't know who McCaffrey was till like his second season because Ron didn't even give him any burn. So
yeah, he had a few good runs in the playoffs, though. Could you believe we actually made the playoffs? That's wild. But I tell you what, I've seen so much hype about Jonathan Brooks. I hope he's ready to go, man, because I want to see him. Like, now I'm kind of sold on him. You know, it's like I knew he was good before the draft, but now seeing him and what he might do in this offense, yeah, I'm excited to see him, man.
Even though I knew we brought them all in, all the running backs in to look at them, I never even remotely thought we would actually draft one before Saturday. I really never thought we would draft a running back in the second or third round, but we did. And I mean, I still don't think he was the initial target, but that's just my opinion. I don't have no way to back it up.
No,
wait, you don't think who was the initial target?
Brooks.
I don't think either.
I think the linebacker from Texas, is he from Texas or Texas A&M one?
Edgar and
yeah. He was taken the pick before ours. Now there's a Texas fan that I work with, and he was watching the draft just because he knows I watch the draft. And I'm an NFL guy. He knew he had a lot of Texans going. He told me that we traded up before the Packers went, and the Packers took the linebacker right before we did. And when I started looking that up, I come to this idea in my head that he must have been the guy. If you remember, we tried desperately to get Patrick Queens, and he just went to the Steelers instead of us. So we turned around and signed Jules. I still believe that he was the target, and I'm sure they had a board. And then the old-fashioned way of doing it, if you have a draft board and this guy goes, you go right to the next guy. And I believe they took Brooks because he was the next guy on their board, which he's also in need. Maybe not this year, but next year he's in need. And I think he fits what we're going to do more than anybody else on the roster.
I really think that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't think it was more so much need. I hope that they just had him as the best player available at that time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That makes sense if he's just their best guy available on their little board.
And at that point in time, the Panthers have to know how much the Cowboys wanted him. Like, it was an open secret.
Yeah, Jerry wasn't hiding
That's why I think they did want Brooks, and I think they made the trip up to get him because they didn't think that he was going to fall, and they see him as another weapon for Bryce. And we don't even mention what kind of receiving threat he's going to be. Like, when Alabama had a good receiving option at running back when he was at Bama, like, that really benefited his game. And that's something else that Brooks does really well. So they viewed him as like a top tier weapon for Bryce. And you want to run the ball again. Like, that's why I think I'm okay being a little bit bullish on our run game this year. Maybe not so much the pass game, but there's no reason, based on the things that we've done in free agency, why the Panthers shouldn't be able to run the rock at an effective clip.
Well, how do you
Who
think
was
the
Br-
Chiefs? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, who was Bryce Young's running back in Alabama? Was it Jameer Gibbs? Was that his running back?
Yeah.
Jameer Gibbs.
I was
Yep.
just gonna say, like, well, think about how much the Chiefs' offense has had to rely on the run game to survive the past 2 seasons, with no Tyreek Hill and
They might
no
have to do it this year.
downfield passing attack. Like,
That too, we
yeah,
trade
running the ball
Sanders
is not
to.
a bad. Yeah,
We
running the
traded
ball is not a bad thing. Like when Joe Brady came into Buffalo, he completely switched the offense and they started running the ball. Who knew, like, the offense got downfield better? And I know, like, everyone wants to see this heavy passing attack, but guys, when we ran the ball in 2022, I mean, that helped Sam Darnold's game. And then everyone was having a conversation, well, do you re-sign Sam Darnold? Like, running the ball is just naturally, like, going to help the quarterback.
Yep.
If you can do it efficiently.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I think most of the moves that we've done have been pretty set up to be able to pound the football. And again, I tried to I'll find the clip of it if I can.
Yeah.
I don't know who all got to listen to Dave Canales' press conference, but he really said something that I liked. That at this point in time, it's getting everyone to know the playbook. Because guys can't play at their best and at their fastest if they're second guessing what they have to do on any individual play. So using this time and the build up to the start of training camp to get everyone on the same page as to what they're doing and making it where it's an opportunity for these guys to play fast. Dave Canales said that was a real part of the process for this team right now. And I like that, man. I like that there is a concerted effort to get everyone on the same page early before we even start. Like, that sounds like some real leadership to me that we've been missing for a while.
Yep. Yeah, I liked what Canales said today. I was at work and I had a headset in. I was listening to the whole thing and I was so impressed with him. And then went to the 2 players that spoke, and I really like how they put that. I like how they did that. I like what the players said. I thought that was impressive, and I really and I like how they're bringing. A lot of times in times past, coaches would say, and even the Foxes and the Riveras, they would all say, "Oh, we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball." And then at most, they brought in like 1 guy or 2 guys. And I said, "Oh yeah, we're going to have depth." And it's like, yeah, whatever. A lot of what Tony was doing on Tuesday, just whatever, because you heard the talk so many times, you get old. But this is the first time they've actually brought in a slew of running backs. And I believe everybody's going to compete. I truly don't think we know who the starter is going to be, and I'm good with that. I like that. I want everybody to compete for. At this point, they could all, with the exception of Jonathan Brooks, compete for a roster spot, because it wouldn't surprise nobody to see Chuba traded or cut. It wouldn't surprise nobody to see Miles Sanders the same way, and all the other guys, not counting Jonathan Brooks, are just borrowing time on the roster. So, I mean, it's possible. Is it likely? No, but I like having everybody compete for a job, because Steve Smith used to say competition brings out the best, and many times. And even back in the day, they had a fullback named Brad Hoover. Every single offseason, they brought in somebody to take that man's job, and he'd compete hard and he'd win his job. And that's the way it should be. It really did. Because if you a starter and you get mad or scared when they bring somebody and take you on, then you ain't much of a quality person, or starter, or you just not. I mean, and I believe that a lot.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I was just gonna say, what I will say about Dave Canales is this man. I mean, I know it's early, y'all, and I know I'm not trying to get sucked into the whole rah and stuff, but he seems genuine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he seems actual genuine with what he says. Like, he means everything he's saying. And I mean, this dude, his whole dream ever since he was coaching high school was to be a head coach, and he actually
Dude,
cares
he
about.
reminds me. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
Go
no,
ahead. Sorry.
go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
You just said something. It popped in my head. He reminds me of my soccer coach in high school. Like high energy, goes for runs for fun, very to the point. Doesn't beat around the bush, but gets shit done. Highly motivational, almost to like a not fault, but like how can you be that motivational, bro? Like he's got those vibes.
Yeah.
And I mean, this dude was working out. I don't know if y'all seen today, but he was literally working out with the players and stuff, doing the same drills.
Oh, I got that.
Well, real quick, I want to say this to some for folks in the chat. If knowing we're going to run the football, and defenses may know we're going to run the football. Guess what? They also know Patrick Mahomes is going to throw that football. They know Tyreek Hill is going to run fast, and they ain't figured out how to stop it yet. Just because the defense know what you're going to do, don't mean they're going to have a way to stop it.
And that's honestly the best thing. When they know what you're going to do, and they still can't stop it, like that's what you want. Let them know.
That's what you
Let
want.
them know that we're trying to run it down their fucking throat. And then when they can't do shit to stop it, that's Panther football. That's how you know you're watching Panther football.
You know, there was an old clip. It's not an old clip, but it's a clip where Cam Newton looks at a guy that says, "Oh, you watch film. Well, that's great. Watch this." That's what you do.
Yeah, that was against Green Bay.
That's when they start stacking the box to stop you, and you do that play action. That's what you bust their head on.
Now, if Cam Newton was still on the team, bro, they'd have some "they not like us" playing while everybody does these high steps. But shout out to my man Dave Canales out here getting in that exercise.
Yep. Yeah, he talked about that on his presser. That was cool the way he put that. That was just a cheap excuse to get a extra workout in. Man, I like to hear that, even if my fat ass don't get a workout in yet. The closest workout I get's at work. When I push
he just said too on his presser, he's got to keep up with his age. You know, his birthday.
Yeah, he does. He did say that.
You would be that mean as hell offensive line coach that's on the sidelines screaming at people, telling motherfuckers what
shut the hell up and do your job.
Pickle would be a great coach.
Yeah. If I'm ever a coach, Pickle's gonna be my O-line coach.
Yeah. Move your ass, that boy.
It wouldn't. It damn sure wouldn't be PG-13. It wouldn't be PG.
But they know what they needed to do, and they'd play their ass off, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
When I was growing up, my grandma would beat my ass if I blocked that bad. Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, no. You don't understand. Everybody's going to locker.
We didn't have helmets.
Except for you, 55. You ain't figured out how to block, so you're going to stay on this field until you figure out how to knock that tackling dummy on his ass. And if you're here tomorrow, you still going to stay here.
Hey man, but I mean, I don't know. Like I like Dave Canales so far, man. Like everything that he said, I think is really I think it's shown leadership. And again, I know you got to prove it, and I'm waiting for him to prove it. But he seems way more genuine and authentic than Matt Rule was in the job when he didn't have the head coaching experience. It seems just way more authentic.
I tell you what, I heard somebody today compare. I don't know if it's today or this week, but they compared Canales to the Texas coach, the Texan coach, and I turned my phone up at that point because I want to hear what they're talking. And they said that the Texas coach, the reason why the Texans had a lot of success is because the players bought into him early. They bought into everything he did. They bought into him. If our players buy into our coach, we could have a good year. I'm not saying a successful year. I'm just saying a good year. Because buying it for these players, buying into what your coach is selling is half the battle. Once you buy in, you're all in.
Yeah, I wanted to show this too. Who'd you say number 2 was, Pickle?
Shane
Montana.
No, Shane Montana.
I know Montana's here.
Shane Chambers
apparently
from Montana State.
At the first day of OTAs, this was something of a common occurrence.
Mm-hmm. Yep, bless his heart. And a shout out to Jake Plummer. I first said it was him, and then after I watched it, I realized he's 16 and he's standing there watching it fool throw that ball. And I got a shout out to him, man. I was wrong. I'm sorry. But look at it. Look at 17 lineup. He's gonna run up, catch that ball, and what the fuck, bitch?
But man,
can you not see him? I'm over here.
What's the difference? Like, I got what's the difference between a college football and an NFL football? Is there a big difference?
Yeah, like the NFL football is a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. It's actually a little bit heavier.
Yeah, the ball is wider. I think that's why hand size in the NFL is more important than it is in college.
Right,
because the ball's a little bit. Yeah, man, you can't have.
By the way, y'all remember one of David Canales' first proteges is going to be a free agent next year. Anybody want a little piece of Russell Wilson on this team?
Fuck no.
Because he might be there whether you like it or not.
Hey, shut the hell up, Pickle. Nobody wants that shit.
Well, didn't Dave Canales even speak on that?
Time to stir up the fire.
Like when he was a free agent, I could have sworn Dave Canales spoke on that. Like he just don't think it's the right fit for Carolina, right? I mean, he talks about that.
Right now. But that's the point though. And listen, if Bryce comes in and lights it all up, ain't nobody going to even know who Russell Wilson is unless they want him to be a backup because Andy's a free agent this year.
If we're talking about Russell Wilson,
or next year rather,
at the end of next year, at the end of this year,
yeah,
we got some issues.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, this is Jonathan Brooks talking about his ACL recovery.
It looks so nice
being available.
Seeing a running back with the number 24 again. It does.
100% mental reps. Hearing the play, walking through it in my head, and then visually seeing them do it, that helps a lot. And then for me, just being a teammate, being there for them, getting the running backs, O-line, anybody water, just doing as much as I can for them. I can't physically be out there to help them, but, for me to help them off the field, that means a lot to me.
Hey, bro, somebody said that if you remove the dreads, he kind of looked like Steve Smith in the face.
That's his long lost son, Cody.
Oh shit, Jay. Shit, that's his illegitimate son. Damn. Yeah, I'm excited for Brooks. I got another video. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was gonna say congrats to Steve Smith that he just got inducted to the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, North Carolina Hall of Fame. That's
and
tonight.
Jim Nance too. Congrats,
and Dave Canales is going to be there too, so that was cool.
Yeah, that picking up Rashad Penny when we did, doesn't it kind of feel like they had some time to meet with Brooks and talk with Brooks and really fill out where he was, as far as his health. Whereas before the draft, meeting with Brooks, I'm sure his agent and things like that were probably not giving up all the information exactly of where he was because they still wanted Brooks to be drafted high. So. But then after the Panthers got to meet with him, they were like, oh, well, we didn't. Okay, so it's not quite as good as we thought. So that's okay. Yeah. So we're going to go pick up this other guy, Rashad Penny, to kind of help him along the way. Isn't that kind of what it feels like in the timing of this?
Yeah, it feels like an insurance policy almost, D's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like just for safety purposes, And again, remember that Canales doesn't really have an opinion of Chuba Hubbard and Blackshear and Sanders. Like he's getting their first go around with all these guys. Who knows what he thinks of them and where he views them in terms of importance in this offense.
And Dan said they had a plan for Miles. He didn't say what that plan was. We had a plan of what plane you're going to take where. But
handing out water.
I think that
handing out water, Pickle.
That plan is going to be, you can get your ass on the field for the amount of money that we're paying you. And when you see a fucking empty gap, you better hit that hole like you ain't never seen a hole in your life.
That's it.
Well, see,
he couldn't hit last year.
No, he really couldn't. And he danced around too much before he found them, too. And that was the biggest part of the problem, the indecisiveness, which Chuba was actually good at. He was straight away. He knew exactly where he was going every time. He may have went down kind of quick, But at least he found the hole, which Sanders wasn't able to do. So good point, Jake.
Well,
But it feels like to me, Pickle, I can feel like what they're trying to do. Like Canales was in his presser and he was talking about running the football, and that's like a physicality type thing that he's telling this offense he wants this offense to be physical. He wants this offense to compete, much like that 2003 team that Dan Morgan was a part of. That team was physical. That team was tough. That team went out and competed for every single game and fought tooth and nail and scratch and clawed to get every single yard they could possibly get. And I really do kind of feel this thing come together. Yeah, I know we were like, oh, man, we got the first overall pick and now we're running the football. But we're establishing that culture, that mean, nasty, tough Panthers culture that we lost in the Matt Rule area, and then we lost with Frank Reich. And now we're going to get it back. We need that fight on this team. We need those guys to be out there headhunting on defense. Y'all talked about how running the football, it helps out the defense. Well, it also works transversely. It also tires out the defense of the other team. So that when you do run that go route late in the game, that cornerback is tired. That safety is tired because they've been coming down the box, getting smashed in the mouth with Rashad Penny, Miles Sanders, whoever, Chuba Hubbard, whoever might be running the ball. So it sets up both ways. I like how they're going about this. I know it's a return to what we've typically seen from the Panthers, but I feel like it's not so much the strategy of it that's going to work, but it's the mindset and the physicality of that team in that locker room. That's what's going to work.
100%, Steve. 100%. And I mean, go ahead, Pickle.
I'm sorry. Strats brought up something a while ago, and I think we all heard it, but we didn't concentrate on what he was saying. But let's hypothetically use let's use the Bucs for example. All right, the Bucs are an offense set up or defense set up to defend the pass.
Yes, I know what point you're making. Yes, go ahead.
They have a few run stoppers on their team, but there's just a few, right? So if you go in to fight the Bucs and you're running the heck out of that ball, you give somewhere in the fourth quarter, them few run stoppers they got, they're going to be wore out and tired.
Exactly.
On these other pass rushers who ain't that, or other pass catchers or pass defenders who ain't good at stopping the run is going to be the only one against so-called running back and us, and we're going to hit that road and go. I saw that once in 2009 when we had Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams, and Stewart was a rookie. Stewart didn't practice at all his rookie season. And
I think it flip-flops, Pickle.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we demolished them. They were quote unquote possibly going to be a playoff team. We whipped the bejesus out of them that game. The very next week, the Raiders come in and whip the bejesus out of them. The very next week after the Raiders whooped them, and 2 weeks after we whooped them, they started trading Buccaneer players.
Well, all these teams are stacking. Maybe I didn't make the point clear enough, but you just reworded it a lot simpler and better. But all these teams are stacking. Like their offenses are Mahomes, like we got to throw more. And of course every team has a run game, but they are typically have been more pass heavy, which means the defenses for the opposing teams have been stacking more money into secondary, into defending against the pass. And when you have a league full of teams, not all teams, but most teams stacking against a pass defense, and you come out and you stack a run offense, that those defense aren't set up to. You can't have it best of both worlds. I mean, you can have a hybrid, you can have a pass, you can have a rush defense. But as of right now, I think we could all agree that a lot of teams are stacked heavily on pass defense. And this just compounds the point that Dees was making, that if we really get this run game going, it's going to be deadly. It is going to be a deadly weapon.
I think
go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think a great run game will tire out a defense more so than a great passing game. At least that's how I feel. I feel like that would more likely tire out a defense more than just throwing the ball. Like run it down right down a gut through the the defensive line through the middle linebackers, all that. I think that's going to tire out defense more so than just throwing chunk plays. That's how I always saw it.
Right.
And by the way, just a real quick clip of Dan Canales saying what we're going to be.
The intent of our offense is to run the ball, and we believe in that. We believe that opens up everything we want to do. The intent.
Yeah, that's it. Just a short clip.
If you go back to gap defense, y'all know what gap defense is. Gap, a lot of your best pass rushers, and I'm going to name a few. Some of you may not like it. Hassan Riddick. One of the reasons why he was traded away from the Eagles is he had issues in gap defense. He had assigned this gap, and instead of assigning this gap to prepare for a play action,
he was looking to rush the passer, right?
He just said, "Hell, we're going to rush the passer." So
I heard that
the
Eagles were pissed at him for
and he's not the only pass rusher in the NFL today that does that, and a lot of your premier pass rushers can't stop the run.
Yeah.
Can I touch on this? I think the best running team last year was Baltimore, and they had 3 running backs that could interchange at any point of the game, and they kept fucking running it. And to me, that's the best thing that we could do. That's the best thing we could do. I mean, I'm not going to say that we have to have all of these guys, specifically these players, their names.
Right.
But having 3 running backs that can alternate and run in and run by committee was definitely the way that Baltimore won a lot of games last year. So I'm not opposed to someone looking at something that worked and being like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it feels like we're playing. I think this flip flops every so often. In the 80s, it was highly run, and then I don't remember the 90s. I feel like it was pass with Marino and stuff. But I feel like every few years it flip flops a little bit. But you know how long it takes to reorganize your team, to structure them to defend against the. So it almost feels like we're jumping the gate and predicting. Not we, but the team management is jumping the gate and predicting okay, we've just gone through pass heavy, now we might slide more toward run heavy, so let's get ahead of the game on this one, which is great because it really, it's what we've always really been good at anyways. So I don't know, I think it's a good move,
especially if we get to those RPOs, man, which is what I think Bryce should have been doing from jump. That's what they did a lot with him in Alabama. And I think that you've built the type of receivers to make that RPO run even better and to be able to run the football. I'm really just hoping that this year is going to be everything that we thought we were getting last year, man. We needed good years so bad. I'm going to be real with y'all. I know this is kind of off topic. It's a free-for-all. I ain't no one on topic anytime. But, I'm real worried about our defense, y'all. I have a bad feeling. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not.
I'm hoping I'm wrong. I just don't know. I just don't know if we have the firepower at corner or linebacker to really know that we're going to be able to take a step in the right direction. And I'm just not sure about DJ Wonnum and Jadeveon Clowney. I do think that was the best of what was available. But I also kind of feel like we said that about DJ Chark last year. He was sort of the best of what was available. And to me, it's sort of the same thing. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm feeling better about the offense than I am about the defense. But that's
Paul in the chat, highlight, not that one. He has a new one put out. Highlight him. I like that idea quite a bit. I like that idea.
Good, Sanders.
Wow.
I
don't think the Eagles want Sanders, but
yeah, I mean, I would take Bradbury over Sanders.
I would.
Yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
But
even at his
nonetheless,
age right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Cody, in a lot of ways. I think as far as pass rush, I think one of the young guys that we've been looking at that's been here for a couple of years is going to step up. I could be wrong. I just think they are. I do. I think one of them is going to step up. But I think the key is we have to stop the run to give these guys the ability to rush the passer. Yes, because until you stop the run, you don't need to have pass rushers till you can. Because with your corners, I think they put a lot of faith in guys that they see on tape, but we don't know yet. For example, the Chow Smith Wade, the corner Dane Jackson from Buffalo, they put a lot of faith in them guys. I've heard also this week that they really like DiCaprio Boodle, which I think he played all right last year, but I'm not saying he's going to start, but I think they put a lot of faith in those guys. I still think that I know people think otherwise, but I think that Gilmore is still on the table. It's just I think I read today that he has an injury.
Shoulder.
He had surgery on his last year. He won't be ready, but till training camp anyway. There is no use to sign him till he can pass a physical. There was zero at his age. It would be stupid to sign him to a contract
till he can pass. But you see what I'm saying, though? Like we really don't. Okay, we're talking about maybe DiCaprio Boodle could be a guy.
I agree.
And by the way, Ricky on Tuesday's show, Ricky Bobai on Twitter, who comes on our show from time to time, he said that he thinks that the Panthers really like DiCaprio Boodle. But even still, you're talking about J.C. Horn, who we're still waiting for him to get an entire season healthy. Now you're gonna get Gilmore to bring in another damn Gamecock player. How about that? And he's got a shoulder injury. He's got some injuries. It's just like, man, bro, that's concerning, man. Like I'm worried that once teams start passing the ball on us, it could look nasty.
But here's my thought process. I'm gonna go back to something Dan Morgan said when he was last talking. He said he kept referring to the fact we have the first waiver wire. That man ain't done hunting. He gonna, soon as somebody gets cut that he has his eye on, corner wise or pass rusher, they're going to be a Panther. I guarantee you this roster ain't done turning. I'm just going to guarantee that.
I think Pickle's right. But there's another point with that, too. Oh, yes. Did you hear? My son just made it. That was the point.
But it was a great point. Hold on. Go ahead, Strats. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The other point is that, Cody, if we think about this, the complexity of the game, you're saying basically like you worry for the pass defense that we'd have. And I agree with you. There is something to worry about with that because we haven't really stacked a whole bunch high on that. In fact, we got rid of a whole bunch. But here's the other thing. Their offense can only score when they're on the field. And if our offense is running the ball often, then it mitigates how often their offense is in on the field to score. And so then if their offense gets that shot to come in the game and they pass it, and even if they I guess you could argue for momentum wise of the game, if they like threw one pass and it was a touchdown, that one's going to sting pretty good. But for the most part, if we can mitigate that by having our offense run the ball so much that the time of the clock just dwindles down to the point where by the time they get their pass game going, we're only having to mitigate so much with our pass defense, and because they don't have that many shots. So it does kind of go hand in hand.
No, I agree with you. I mean, that's like why I really think running the football is going to be a necessity for our defense this year, just because of that time control thing. Like, if I think our defense can be okay for short bursts, but I think the longer that they're on the field, I think those holes are going to continue to reveal themselves, and that's what worries me. And I feel like last year, in order to maintain some of the optimism, I kind of buried some of my reservations about that team, and I don't feel like doing the same this year. I just have real concerns about that defense until we see something from it. I think we're going to need another draft before this team
do
has
you think
a
Rashawn
viable
Douglas
defense.
Well, look at where we put the money. We put all the money on the. I'll let you go in here just a second, Pickle. I was just wanted to jump on this point by Cody. We put all the money in the defensive line and free agency. We got Robinson, I believe it was, and then we got like you said, Wanham and Clowney. And we've got to stop the run first. We've got to. Josie Jewell, that guy's great at stopping the run. Those guys that we signed in free agency was all built around that. And to have concerns about the secondary is absolutely understood. I don't know how much Panthers fans believe in Gabe Jackson or DiCaprio Bootle, but the fact of the matter is we couldn't stop the run. And so the pass rush didn't matter, like Pickles said. And the play of the secondary didn't really matter because they were running the ball on like 3rd and 7 and getting first downs on the Panthers. So we put the money in the trenches during free agency, which I think was a step in the right direction. Now, if you're still skeptical and you don't think the Panthers can stop the run, then that's fine. I understand that. But hopefully they can. And if they do, then we'll see the opportunity for the edge rushers to get exposed as ineffective, to see the cornerbacks in the secondary to get exposed as ineffective. But last year, we didn't even get that opportunity because they just ran the ball whenever they wanted to. Go ahead, people.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. In 2020, the Panthers had this problem, okay? And we waited until we had the to roster cuts. And when we had roster cuts, we picked up this guy that I thought was a joke. And his name was DiCaprio. His name was Rashad Douglas. Turned out to be pretty decent. Pretty good pickup.
Oh, Rasul Douglas?
Yes.
Yeah. Is he still in Green Bay?
No, he's in Buffalo now.
Oh, Buffalo?
Buffalo.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, you don't at these last cuts, sometimes you can get a good player at these roster cuts. And this just happens. It happens all the time. And
somebody in the chat that said we were making up the Gilmore thing. Well, no, we're not. Todd Archer of ESPN reported it.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Cody.
Yeah. Know your role.
How much better do you feel about this defense if we get a healthy Horn for 17 games?
I feel better, but it's still not great because he's only one man. Like you're gonna need more than one. If he can stay healthy, I have no doubt in my mind that if you get JC Horn going, he can shut down whoever he needs to. That's really not even my concern. It's just him staying healthy on top of we don't have anyone across from it on the other side, and that worries me. I do think that the Panthers are going to be better at stopping the run. I mean, that's why you brought in Jadeveon Clowney and DJ Wanham, Ashawn Robinson, like these just alluded to.
DJ Wanham, so sorry. Oh,
no,
go ahead. No, it's stupid. It's not worth even saying.
I mean, I'm just, none of these guys inspire. I mean, you brought them in to be able to stop the run. I think they'll be able to do that. But I think the middle of the field and the deep ball has the potential to give us some problems this year. But that's
it. It could.
And hold on, before you go, let me welcome Cole back. Cole been trying to get in for a minute. What's up, Cole?
What's up? Had some audio
Welcome
issues.
back.
Thank you for having me back,
good,
boys.
Yeah, man.
Good conversation y'all are having. What was it y'all were talking about before? I wanted to touch on.
I mean,
we were by this one.
I mean, pretty much we've been talking about the defense. Like I've been saying, I don't really know if we're going to have the firepower necessary to really stop a lot of offensive attacks. At least the passing attacks. I think we'll be okay stopping the run. It's the pass that worries me.
Cody, are we going to be shitty in coverage with our linebackers per usual? I mean, is that what's going to kill us?
Oh, man. I don't want to.
When is that ever going to change?
Like I don't want to just out and say it like that, Cole. But man,
I mean, it is what it is, and that's not a new problem.
I know, and
all.
I feel like that's the recipe. I feel like that's what we're looking at.
I don't know, man. We got a couple of good linebackers that are good in coverage, though. I mean, we did pick up Trevin Wallace. He's really good in coverage. Michael Barrett's good in coverage. Josie Jewell's good in coverage. Like, we did pick up some coverage linebackers. So, I mean, I understand the sentiment that we might not be that great on defense, but at the same time, we did look at all the holes on defense and all the things that we didn't do well.
I think it only feels like that because we didn't spend more money on defense than we did on
Right,
offense. I think
right,
that's why it feels like that.
we're just hoping that they carry it in. But I have a little bit more than just hope because I look at what they're doing, and they're saying, hey, we couldn't stop the run. Our linebackers couldn't cover, so they got linebackers that can stop the run and linebackers that can cover. So I mean, they addressed it, and whether those players that they got are the players that are going to be able to do that is still yet to be seen because we have not seen anybody do it yet. But like I said, it's more than hope because it makes sense. It makes sense to the things that they've done and the moves that they've made. They just make sense.
Yeah.
Can I impose a rule that whenever we say DJ Wanham, someone has to do the dun 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 sound?
All right, sure. All right, well, DJ Wanham.
Does it not sound like a DJ, like an actual DJ name?
DJ Wanham on the beat.
Like a techno.
Right? Yeah.
All right, I'm with you now.
No, I'm with it. Hey, we got my man. I just wanted to welcome my man Sean to the free for all. What's up, Sean?
What up, Sean?
Hey guys.
How you doing, brother?
I didn't know if I was on.
Yeah, man, you know I got you. Hey, man, what do you think about this Panthers running attack this year? Do you think we're going to be an elite running team? And what do you think about that running back room we got, man?
I love the running back room. I absolutely love Chuba. He's really growing. He almost he almost had 1,000 yards last year, right? Am I wrong?
He was flirting. I believe, wasn't he? Or no?
No, he didn't hit quite 1,000, right?
No, he didn't. But he was.
Yeah, he got somewhere near. Yeah.
But I love Chuba. I love, at first I didn't really like to trade up, but after we already got that second round pick for next year back from the Brian Burns trade.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, why not give up them other two picks that we just traded back for, plus the freaking second round pick. Like, it kind of made sense after I went back and looked at it. I was like, dude, Jonathan Brooks in a year or two, bro, he reminds me of Arian Foster, bro. And he could really be something special. And I love that. Golly, bro. I can't believe we let Tariq Cohen go, but he could come back. But I love the running back room. I do. I really, really love the running back room.
Who do you think is the odd man out? Like between Rashad Penny, obviously we know it's not Brooks, but between Rashad Penny, Chuba Hubbard, and Miles Sanders, like none of us really think that they're going to take 4 running backs, right? So somebody's got to be the odd man out in that equation. One of them probably gets put on the practice squad.
No. Because when we just talked about the whole running back thing, Pickle's viewpoint of like fresh legs and basically swapping them in and out and seeing who's good at what down. That I would believe that wouldn't. I'd be surprised. I don't know. I think that's totally possible.
3 or 4.
4.
I think 3 or 4. I think 4. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think 4 is a little bit too much.
Well,
but hold on. Consider Dave Canales did said that they want to carry 3 quarterbacks, right? So we know that we're gonna need corners. Like it's only a 56-man roster. Like there's only so many spots.
53.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, 53. What did I say?
You said 56.
He meant 46. I bet.
My point is that
anyway,
you're not gonna, to me, 3, yes, but I think 4. I think whoever that last running back is, that's practice squad fodder at that point.
Yeah, back at one time when we really used to be a running back team, we really used to run the ball a lot. We carry forward but if you stop and you think who are those three you're going to keep, are they going to be folks that normally get hurt? Then you're going to want to bring in a fourth one anyway. So, but at this situation, it may come down to, do you keep an extra running back, an extra quarterback, or no? Let's not count the quarterback. He'll keep three anyway, providing he can get him a third quarterback. I don't think he goes in to the regular season with Jake Plummer as his third string quarterback. But if it may come down to keeping a seventh wide receiver, a fourth tight end, or a fourth running back. That's what it may come down to. If that's the case, I would keep the running back, the fourth running back, not a seventh wide receiver or not a fourth tight end, because that running back can do the tight end and the wide receiver's job if need be.
Deez, were you going to say something earlier? I wanted to make sure I went back to you.
Oh, we were talking about the secondary and working on them and bringing in more people to bolster the secondary. But wasn't that our best defensive stat last season? Our defense against the pass? Wasn't that the one thing that Avera's defense was sound on, despite the injuries, despite not having J.C. Horn, despite not having Shaq Thompson? Wasn't that the one thing we were top 5 in, was stopping the pass last year?
According to the greats, yeah.
Yards against pass or something like that. There was one of those stats that we were top 5 on in the defense. And
go ahead, burn that. Burn that.
Tigers, baby.
Burn that shit.
Yeah.
Burn that shit.
Hey, Jake. The best.
Sorry, D's. I'm sorry, D's.
The best Clemson draft pick the Panthers ever had was who?
No. Son of a... I'm sorry, D's. I'm sorry, D's. I'm so sorry, bro.
Nah, I was helping Cody out.
Hey,
I was hoping they were going to draft somebody.
Hey, man, all we do is bring some of these South Carolina players. I had to make sure my Tigers got a little bit of love. And my man Sean was representing. My apologies, D's. I'm an airhead, bro.
Sorry, brother.
But yeah, man. D's, were you finished, brother? I didn't mean to cut you off, dude. I'm sorry.
No, that was my point. I think that was our best defensive stat last season, was against the pass for Avera's defense. It's the one thing we're good at, because instead of what he's used to, instead of what Panthers fans are used to and us being in press coverage, press man coverage, he runs a hybrid zone scheme. So these guys are just guarding the area of the field. They don't have to be experts at getting downfield and keeping containment on these wide receivers. They just had to guard their area or their zone. And I think that was the one thing that we were good at. So it's always confused me how Evero brings in players and the guys that he likes, because it's so against what the fans believe or think is going to be good. But yet we saw in some areas that they are effective, or at least they could be in a few last year. One of them was not stopping the run, which we pointed out earlier that we spent the big money on. We spent money up front to stop the run this year. So that was the whole point of Clowney, right? Clowney's here to stop the run. He's not here to get sacks, right?
Right. Remember the old thing. Strong front seven makes up for weak secondary.
But D's,
absolutely.
D's, do you think that we'll be able to continue with that, bringing that good pass defense into this year? Like, especially with a lot of turnaround. Do you think that maybe it's something built into Avero's defense? Because that was one of the things that was said about Avero, is that, even when he was in Denver, he didn't have necessarily a ton of name talent at certain positions, yet he was able to still game plan things and make it happen. Do you think, D's, that maybe that's similar case, like just the type of defense that he runs and how he coaches it up? It's more about dudes doing their job rather than like having the best talent at every position, maybe?
I really do. You look at a guy like Fuller that they brought in. They believe in Fuller. They cut Von Bell for no reason just to bring in Fuller. They brought him in because he was familiar with the system that Avero runs. So clearly Avero trusts Fuller more than they did Von Bell, because I don't know what they really cut him for, because in my eyes, it's a downgrade at the position. But in Avero's eyes, it must be an upgrade at the position to have him in there. And I know it seems counterintuitive and it doesn't make sense, but if the guy stays home in his zone where he's supposed to, and we assume that the cornerback does the same on his side, well, they've put together a good pass defense. Whereas other guys who would go kind of rogue and do their own thing trying to make a play on the ball, maybe that's what Vaughn was trying to do, ends up getting burned in coverage. So I know for a fact Josie Jewell was really good with Avero. The guy had a career-high numbers. I don't remember the exact. I don't know if it was 135 or 148 tackles, something. It was really good, though, the year that he had with him. He was able to get in there, fill the gaps, and stop the run. And I'm not even saying that I 100% believe in it. I'm like you are. I'm skeptical on the defense, too, just because I don't fully understand what Avero wants to do. But Pickle pointed out earlier that Chow Smith – is it Chow Smith Wade? Is Wade his final? Yeah. That guy, he really may be. He may end up being a possible star on this defense, and Barrett as well. Guys that are kind of Wade because he can play the nickel spot, and we're in the nickel all the time. And then I like Barrett because he played some safety in college, like Pickles pointed out before. That dude is fast for a linebacker at almost 240 pounds. I think Barrett's going to find something for him to do on this defense. I think the Panthers march in to this 2024 season carrying the 240th pick, and that's something to be said for this team.
Right. Also, if I may throw this out there, Deez, if you look at the depth chart, the first and second string, we've added one new player to the first and second string in the secondary, and that was Chow Smith Wade. He's the only one that we added that is not familiar with Rivero's system in any way. We added, like you said, the safety who was with Rivero before. We added a linebacker who was with Rivero before. A lot of the corners, we look at them on paper and we think they're not that good. They were with Rivero last year. They already know the system.
Well, Chow Smith Wade, they want him to move to nickel too.
Yeah, and also remember this: he never played nickel until he got to the senior. He learned to play nickel in a week. In 7 days, he learned to play nickel. And he got himself drafted for it. Before that, he played outside. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't steal. If something happened and Horn goes down, do not be shocked if Chow Smith Wade takes that job.
I would love
no
that.
Way.
I mean,
no way, dude. He's not taking JC's job.
I'm not.
If JC can't stay healthy, he don't need a job.
I'm not.
Oh yeah. Well, you're right. Yeah. And that.
I'm not saying just out
right.
I'm saying
right.
And like again, it's up to JC because there's a point when you have to say enough.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Absolutely.
I do not think we're at that point yet, though, and I was love if Chow Smith Wade was able to do something this year. I mean, again, we've had too many
we'll never know.
That didn't do anything
we
for us.
We just don't know.
And again, I like the fact of us having a nickel corner that we can depend on. I'm hoping that they can fill that role. He was really impressive at the Senior Bowl. He had 2 interceptions at the Senior Bowl, and again, playing at that nickel position. So maybe that's the move that he needed. Hey man, listen, we got some time left. I'm not going until 10 tonight, but this is y'all's show, man. Is there anything y'all would like to talk about? Like anything that y'all that's on your mind or what have you? Deez, you tapping out?
No, I want to ask a question real quick.
Okay,
Who do you like better? Who do you like better, Cody? Do you like Dane Jackson or CJ Henderson? Which one do you like better?
Dang.
Yeah, I said Dang. Yeah, I mean, dude, CJ Henderson was such a disappointment, man.
Oh my god.
We all wanted so much out of CJ Henderson. And bro, I don't think he loves football, man. I know we said that before, and people even got mad at me when I said it before, but he don't love football, man. I
His
really
attitude
don't
was
think he
weird.
does.
He's got some issues, bro, that he's got to get taken care of. And I've been through that, and I'm not judging the dude,
Yeah.
but he's got some shit to take care of, bro, mentally, bro. Like, seriously.
I hope he does, yeah.
I hope he.
Who did he sign with? He went to Houston?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he went to the Texans. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a good, hey, make a paycheck for a couple of years and then dip and do something else if you don't love it, man. That's the plan right there. Stack some
Yeah.
and then just do what you need to, man. Got some of that Clemson Tiger love in the chat. Love that. You already
No
know.
Clemson love. No Clemson
Shut
love.
up, Jake.
Now, hush.
Shut up, Jake.
Hey man,
Shut the hell up.
we gotta allow the Clemson fans to have their entertainment on social media.
Yeah, that's true.
On Sunday, they ain't gonna see it in a Panther gym.
Man, I don't even want to hear it with your Tennessee
they
fan
ain't gonna get no
ass.
transfer portal. They ain't gonna dip themselves in no transfer portal. They ain't get nobody.
Where is that?
Neither is Tennessee. I don't want to hear it.
In reality, it's all Debo's fault.
It's all Debo's fault.
It's all
Hey,
Debo's
real
fault.
quick. Thank you to Steve Hagler with the $4.99. Says you guys know anything about the undrafted nose tackle from Oregon, and another one just signed from University.
Washington?
Yes, the Washington guy. Yeah.
Yep.
I saw a video, but now I'm not finding it.
That's that Samoan dude, right? Big old
Yeah.
Samoan guy. Yeah.
And if any
That's
of y'all
awesome.
have my, my DM, hit me on the DM if y'all have that video. I just saw it, man. I don't know why I didn't save it. But thank you, Steve, for the $4.99. We appreciate you, brother.
What's up, bud?
Hey, Kyle, let me go ahead and give you your out, brother. We appreciate you joining the show.
Yeah.
Tonight, man. Give me your final thoughts.
Man, we just need to have faith and stop hating on what we think is going to happen, and our previous regimes and years done hyped everybody up, and everybody's feeling like, oh well, here we go again. But I think the main thing that people need to realize is this is not Matt Rule's team. This is not Scott Fitterer's team. This is not anything that we've seen before. So let's look at it with fresh eyes. Other than that, keep pounding.
Keep pounding,
Keep
brother.
pounding, Kyle. We appreciate you, brother. Have a great night. Have a great
Yes,
weekend.
sir.
And hey, happy Mother's Day to everybody's mothers, man.
Yes, sir. Send them stuff.
Yes, sir.
They
man.
love it.
Y'all
Send
tell
them
your mamas
stuff.
you love them. Kyle, have a great one, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Keep pounding, guys.
And
pounding,
happy
brother.
Father's Day.
Keep
Happy
pounding, Kyle.
Mother's Day to the single fathers who have to be mother and father.
Yeah.
Amen, brother. Amen, brother.
There you
Amen, brother. Amen.
To whoever
Hey.
you love, however you celebrate. Go ahead, man.
I got something to say. It just came to my. Did anybody see Dave Canales out there doing workouts with the players today?
Yeah. I saw
Bro.
him doing the high steps. Yeah.
Bro, that's what we need, right? Ain't that energy, bro, from the coach, just to get out there and be like, yo, I'm here with you, bro. I'm here with you. I know we've seen it kind of with fucking Matt Rule. That don't count, bro. With him freaking tackling that bag. Hell no. This is
the
real.
bag
Bro. Yeah, bro. Bro, there you go. I love it, bro. I love Dave Canales, bro.
He reminds me so much. I've had soccer coaches that act this way, that like they do the routine with you. They're so fit. They're in shape that you're like, holy shit, like you basically could be in my role right now. You're doing these activities better than I could do it. Like,
right.
He's
Right.
got that vibe to him. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the
I love it.
time today.
I love it, dude.
Wasn't Pete Carroll doing some shit like this in Seattle for his age too?
For a
Like, I
long
thought
time.
I saw this.
Yep.
He did all the time.
Pete Carroll.
Hey.
Y'all are aware though, aren't you, that Pete Carroll's son, who coached up there
He's on
in
our
Seattle,
team, right?
is
He's on our
now
team.
working on our team.
Let's go, boy. I'm so hyped, bro.
Hey man, we got a special guest in the building. We got
Let's
our
go.
man, C Dog 1983 in the building. C, what up, brother?
What's going on with everybody, man, on this good Friday, man? Happy Mother's Day to everybody. To all the good mothers out here. But
Thank you.
I want to know real quick, man. But I gotta say a response to Pickle earlier, saying if you still support the team and complain, you're the team own you. You're their bitch. No, I'm not nobody's bitch. You know what I'm saying? But we trying to spend our money and seeing poor goddamn quality. You know, like if you go out here to a goddamn restaurant somewhere, a 5-star restaurant, you ain't gonna keep going to the 5-star restaurant.
I wouldn't. If I
But
go right now,
quality, right? You know.
Yeah.
So with me saying that, I can say what the fuck I want to say about Bryce Young until he come out here and prove me fucking wrong.
Yep.
Right now for 2 games season.
Hey, see,
You're right.
All of a
You're
sudden,
saying it now. Just like me, I can say any damn thing I want.
Hold up. C-Dog, you're breaking up a little bit, man.
I think we get the general point of what he was trying to say, but I would say that I don't think anyone tonight on any of the panel was saying you're wrong. I think more or less we were just saying the focus and emphasis of what the management is trying to do this season seems to be that they're taking some of the burden off of Bryce and trying to put that into the run game. And if Bryce performs, fantastic. If he doesn't, then we still have some other factors that can help us out. I think that's all we were saying.
Yep.
A lot of fans are gonna feel.
Let me just say that.
And a lot of fans are gonna feel butthurt because either Bryce is gonna live up to those expectations, and all the fans are gonna, show all the receipts of everyone that didn't believe, or it's gonna be the other way around, and the people that never believed in Bryce Young are gonna be saying, "See, I told you we should have never drafted him." We're gonna see what road we're gonna take. Go ahead, C.
But this is my question for everybody. You know what I'm saying? How many games are we gonna give Bryce Young this year before we say, you know what, we got to go another direction?
C-Dog was a Falcons fan.
Cause I'm telling you right now, before you answer this,
I know that.
But before you answer this question, don't forget now, Bryce Young did not complete a deep pass all last season. So I'm telling you right now, in the last 2 games of the season,
one or two.
No, sir, zero. He had zero, sir. Now,
I have data.
Sir,
don't argue with me over data.
Sir,
I have.
He was a rookie.
My man, let me get done. Let me get done.
Okay.
Let me finish, man. Let me finish, man.
Let him get off, and then I'll give everyone the time to retort. Go ahead, see.
Okay, now zero. So now, with that being said, the last 2 games of the season last year, we did not even score no points. You know what I'm saying? I promise you.
No, it's not zero.
No, we did.
Whatever, my man. Whatever, my man.
Well, look at the data. I'll
man,
hand it to you.
My man, what I get done, sir? Oh my God.
I'll email you the data right now.
Oh my God.
I got it ready. No, I have it ready. I'll email it right now. Tell me your
Bro,
email.
stop. Let him talk. Let's see dog talk.
Now, like I was saying, now with that being said, I promise you, the first game, every game of the season this year, I promise you, every defense will have 8 men in the fucking box. You know what they telling us? They Bryce Young got to prove to goddamn other teams he can throw the goddamn deep ball, or he can throw it. Period. I'm telling you right now, man. And when the last 2 games last season, they showed he can't throw the ball, man. So my only thing is, if Dave Canales can come out here and fix this little motherfucker, I would be fucking happy. You know what I'm saying? But at the fact that we getting all these running backs for a number 1 overall quarterback, this is a head scratcher. It's not good. And then we gave up all. I don't feel good in giving them all these fucking picks for a fucking game manager. Now fuck that shit, man. If Bryce Young come out here this year and be sorry, I see Canales and Dan Morgan moving on for this motherfucker, man. Because Dave Canales is not about to goddamn get fired for goddamn Bryce Young guys. And that's just my personal opinion.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm gonna let Strats respond.
No, I responded. If he doesn't want to accept the data that exists,
but hold
that's
on. But
him.
I'm just saying, like you said, how many games, like, would it take before they move on? How many games do you think it's gonna take? Like, how many games do we need to see from Bryce for us to not think that we need to be thinking about upgrading quarterback? Like, what do we need to see? How about this? See, what do
I say 4 games. I say 4 games, man.
What do you
gotta think? I got to a deep ball, a fucking deep completion, a deep completion. If we, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why we gotta see it. If we don't, teams will play 8 men in the box every game until he got them throw out of it.
Can you just stop?
I'm sorry, but until he does, teams will have 8 men in the box every game like they did last season, sir.
Right.
Like the last 2 games of the season last year.
Let me get the stats. Let me get the Strats. I'm gonna let Strats make the counter, and then I'll let.
You know what's so ironic is the fact that I actually agree with you with the fact of his deep balls, but what I don't agree with you as a data scientist is your data's wrong, and I just hope you trust me a little bit because I fucking do this shit for a living. It's what I do. I know how to do it. I'm very, very good at it. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Okay.
What was the argument?
Deep balls. He did throw some deep balls. He threw some.
No, I'm not. It's not even. I'm trying to hear what the what did C-Dog? What stat did he say that was?
He threw 0 deep balls. That's wrong.
My man, Bryce Young did not complete 1 deep pass last year. He did not.
I can't argue with dumb fucking.
Hold on, let me finish. Go ahead.
I gotta mute my mic, bro.
All right, so
I really appreciate the support, guys. I mean,
real quick, my man who keeps saying Bryce Young completed the ball last year. Did you go to a football game last season?
I did, but I also have the data analytics to support it. I
don't give a fuck about no goddamn data. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn analytics. That shit don't mean shit. What's the fucking game? What the fuck are you talking about? That shit, y'all said, come on, man.
I'm asking you what you're talking about because
my man, let me tell you something. I don't care nothing about analytics. I was at the first game of the season, sir. At the first game of the season, Terrence Marshall was wide open, sir. Mingo was wide open, and Bryce Young couldn't get in the ball. What does it?
Is that the only game you watched? Because every day all the time you come in, you refer to that one game. Is that the only game you watched? Because I'm not a Bryce Young fan. I'm not a Bryce Young fan, but he's going to be here. He'll probably start every game next year unless he's hurt. And if the fact that people don't like it, that's just too damn bad. I don't make that decision. Cody don't make that decision. Strats, nobody on this whole panel or the fans make that decision.
Agreed.
The best thing you can do if you want to change that is go find the head coach, catch him on the sidewalk, and knock the shit out of him. That's the only way you're going to have an effect.
For legal purposes, we do not suggest that this podcast is implementing.
Nobody condones violence on C3. No, peace and love over here, man. Too much war in the world. You know what I'm saying? Bro. But look. Listen, man, I think that the truth is somewhere in between. I mean, one, I do agree with Strat said, there were some deep passes last year, but even Strat said, it's not enough to be happy about. And nobody's saying that it was a strong suit of his game either. He has to show that he can do some shit this year. And if they put the weapons around him to do it, which I think they have, in the form of Xavier Legette, I'm hoping to see something from Jonathan Mingo. But Adam Thielen, you added another premier running back. There are no excuses for Bryce Young in 2024. If Bryce looks the same, I'm saying, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt this year. But if Bryce ends up looking the same, I'm going to sound just like C-Dog. I swear to you, bro.
I'll agree with that one too. I have nothing wrong. You worded it.
Let's see if they listen. How's that? All I'm saying is we can bitch all day, but they don't listen. They just ain't gonna listen.
We all know they don't give a shit about what I say.
They don't.
That's for damn sure. Everyone knows that.
Do we think that he can at least throw the ball 40 yards?
Yeah,
I
but
think
consistently, that's the issue. I think, right? Consistently throw it. That's what I want to see him work on, because he can do it, but
and hitting the open receivers, because I feel like there was a lot of times that his accuracy wasn't good last year, and that was one of his strong points.
Yeah, he overthrows it
in college. Yep.
Yeah, so really just do more. Go ahead, Jake.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think I've seen more overthrown balls than I've seen underthrown. Right? Didn't we see the same thing? Or did we? I mean, at least when I watched, I've seen more overthrown than I've seen.
Yeah, but to me, that doesn't mean the same thing to me, Jake. To me, if you're overthrowing, to me it means that the ball is sailing on you because you're not driving it hard enough.
Yeah.
It could just be chemistry, though, right?
Well, I was thinking, you know what? You said something earlier. You said you were talking about the ball size, and I didn't even think about this. But what if that was a factor in think about this. He's used to college football for like how many years, and then he comes in the NFL, and his new systems are more complex. There's other complexities too, but then the ball size itself is like, he's not a huge dude. Like maybe some of it is due to the ball difference in the weight and because it changes, like the physics of it changes. You have to, and you progress your throw and your ability.
Football.
You know what I mean?
I also believe a lot of it had to do with bad coaching, and I know people are sick and tired of hearing it. But you know what? You may be sick and tired of hearing bad coaching, but I'm sick and tired of hearing everything else too. You don't believe me? Go back and watch this whole show, and you'll hear all about it.
I'm tired of seeing that
because bad coaching. And it wasn't just quarterback. We had bad quarterback coaching. We had coaches who didn't give a damn, and they were wide receivers that were taught bad. The running back, we didn't have a fucking offensive line coach to save our life. He was too busy worried about who was tattling on who, which way was going up. I mean, the GM was too worried about covering his own ass to give a damn about the team. Like I said before, it's purely pathetic when the only person in that building who walked in the door and said bullshit was the owner. When the owner, who had no business at all entering the locker room, walked in the locker room and people went to him like a swarm, and he was the only one who said, okay, enough of the bullshit. You and you go, you come over here, you're in charge. What? You're right. People are right. He shouldn't have to do that. But he was the only person in there with intelligence to do that. And I believe
it's not. I'm not making an excuse.
In the back,
I'm saying I think
in the back, there was one person that consistently told him this is wrong. But I'm the little guy. Y'all go make your decisions. But I'm telling you, this ain't going to work.
How do people?
In the end, that guy who said that is now our GM.
Yeah.
Real quick, man, I got cut out. But y'all was saying that Bryce Young completed some deep passes last season. Please tell me what game did he complete?
The Chicago Bears game. Goddamn! If you really want to know, that's the first one. There's another few too. But
No, sir. He doesn't have a few. He doesn't. He has zero. But in the Chicago game, sir.
Can I ask you a question?
Pickle, Pickle. Pickle, let me just answer the question, Pickle. Okay. Sir, no. You said it's a Chicago game. Now, how deep was that pass in the Chicago game, sir?
Over 40 yards, I believe. It was to the
40 yards is not 40 yards is not a deep ball. It's not a deep ball. That's not a deep ball.
Cody, you understand that's a difference. There's a different definition that they're arguing about.
I have an NFL data set provided by NFL. It technically quantifies deep passes over a certain yardage amount.
My man, I don't care nothing about your analytics. Tell me about what you know about football. Tell me about what you know.
Everybody gotta let each other finish.
No, I don't know why you're arguing at me. You should be arguing at the Panthers.
Everybody, look, listen. I'm gonna let all y'all make your points. I'm gonna let C-Dog make his point. I'm gonna let Stats make his point. If y'all interrupt each other, no one can hear what anybody's saying. So, C-Dog, go ahead, make your point, and I'm going to let Strats respond. No rush either. I just want to make sure everyone feels.
No, all I'm telling them is, don't tell me no analytics, man. Tell me about what you think about Bryce Young. Don't tell me about no analytics, nothing about on a fucking computer, my man. What you see with your own eyes. Tell me that. Because with my own eyes, C.J. Stroud is a goddamn real NFL quarterback. That's what my eyes show me. Now, real quick, everybody remember before the draft, they said C.J. Stroud was dumb because a score he got on the S2 test. That shit don't mean shit. When he get in the game, sir, I'm sorry, I'm yelling. But when C.J. Stroud got in the game, he looked 10 times smarter than Bryce Young, dumbass. So, like I said, don't tell me all that analytics stuff. Tell me about what you see, sir. Not about on the computer. Come on, man.
All right, don't interrupt him. Go ahead, Strats. Go ahead.
First off, it feels like you're so angry, and I don't know. I wish I could help you, but like that's not needed here. We're just discussing stuff. There's no need to yell.
But again, everybody gets angry. What would you say is your opinion?
My response to this is
2 games you can get mad as hell.
Data analytics drives your entire world. That's what you see in front of you every single second of every single day, whether you know it or not. It is happening in the background, and these teams are using it to make decisions. So I'm not going to try to tell you on it.
Hold up. Let Strats finish.
I don't know why you're laughing. I mean,
I'm not laughing
true.
at you. I'm laughing
That's
at
what
Pickle,
happens.
my friend.
No, that was Kobe. That wasn't even C-Dog laughing.
That was me laughing at Pickle, not you, buddy.
On the data set that's provided by the NFL, these are quantified as deep ball passes. That's just how they've quantified them. And if you were going, here's my real point. If you want to have a discussion about something, we need to set boundaries. We need to set barriers. We need to set actual quantifiable, measurable things to talk about. That's how this works. But yes, I also watch all the games, and by my eye, I've already said a few times now that I agree with you that I think he has a long way to go on the topic. I'm just saying, let's not exclude some of this. We can't take out some of this data set just because we don't like him. We gotta remember that some of these passes he made were exceptional passes. Granted, it did not happen as many times as we wanted them to.
Well, hold on. See, I'm gonna let you go. I just wanted to add on to it that they're like the chat mentions, and see, dog, I'm not no big Bryce fan, dog. But there was a lot of drops too that did happen last year on some would have been deep plays that ultimately didn't go in his favor.
True.
So that's just me. That's just me keeping it fair. And to be honest, I'm between both of y'all. I think the data and analytics is incredibly important in today's world, and especially in football. And just like Pickle said in the chat, it don't matter if you love or hate data and analytics around football. It ain't going anywhere. David Tepper spends millions of dollars on this shit every year to make sure that the Panthers have the best data and analytics possible. Now
real quick, hold on, Cody.
What that means and how it helps us, I don't know. But the data isn't going anywhere. I just hope that they don't become so dependent on the data that they're looking for the data to give them the answers on why they aren't as successful.
Well, let me stop you there. Can I introduce this topic?
No, hold on, Stretch. Let me say something. Hold on, Stretch.
I'm gonna let everyone go. I'm gonna let everyone go. I'm gonna go in order. I'm gonna let C go, and then I'm gonna let.
Can I just say one sentence first? And I don't want to say anything.
Hold on, my man. Let me just say. I got.
But hold on, I know you gotta go. Let me just say this one sentence. Go ahead, Stretch.
The data, my response to that would be that the data analytics isn't good enough. They're not measuring enough things properly to be able to tell you the full story. That's my response.
Okay, fair. Go ahead, C-Dog.
Now, real quick, man. Like I said, I don't care nothing about analytics. David Tepper could spend all the money on analytics and we still fucking suck. But real quick, if you look at the Rams, how the Rams draft. You know what I'm saying? They went and got Puka Nacua. I don't know what round they got him in last year. But you know what? They wasn't sitting at the fucking computer talking about those data. No, let me finish. They wasn't talking about. They weren't at the computer talking about data analytics. They watched the fucking tape, and from the tape, they say, you know what, boy, he could be another goddamn Cooper Cup. I'm like, well, come on, man. This is football. Y'all making it too hard. For the analytics don't mean shit, man. If you can play, you can fucking play, man. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. If you can play, you can fucking play. This nigga can't fucking play. Come on, man.
Look. I agree with C-Dog to the point that I think there is that amongst certain scouts and GMs, sometimes there is an over-reliance on the data and analytics. I do think that it has its place, though, and I think that you have to have both of them. I just don't like the over-dependence on it. Hold on. I wanted to make sure I got everybody in. Let me go back to D's. I saw your hand up. It was very kind of you. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I just put my hand up because
fifth round.
Nakua was drafted in the fifth round. Yeah. I was
fifth round.
Okay. Yeah. So in that Sean McVay system, man, he ate it up, but we didn't have Sean McVay here last year. We didn't have anything close to that. We had Frank Reich. We had a coach that they picked because they didn't get the guy they wanted. We had a GM who got fired justly so for having all his late round and depth picks being cut a year after they were drafted. So
yeah,
but sir, but
you're fine, bro. If you don't like Bryce Young, don't like him, dude.
No. But I'm talking about how do you feel about my opinion about the analytics versus the tape? They watch Nakua tape. That's what I'm saying. They ain't said nothing about the analytics. They watch the goddamn tape, man. The tape goddamn gonna tell you. The tape don't fucking lie.
No, they're using.
Don't forget that. The tape don't fucking lie. Now, Luke Kuechly, let me tell y'all something, man. When Luke Kuechly came out of college, I didn't even want Luke Kuechly.
There you go. That sums up the entire argument.
Man, let me finish, man. God damn, let me finish. Now, when Luke Kuechly came out of college, I didn't want Luke Kuechly because he played at Boston College. Boston College don't got a good defensive team. So even though Luke Kuechly led them nation in tackles, I was like, well, shit, he ain't playing with nobody but fucking bums. You know what I'm saying? And even you can go back right now, even look at the goddamn Luke Kuechly draft status. They said we drafted him too high. They said Luke Kuechly was real smart. They said a lot of dumb shit that he came out and proved wrong. But I'm just saying, man. Like, come on, man. I'm just telling you, man.
Nothing.
Look at the tape. Look at the tape, man. Look at the tape, man.
Can I say something?
Yeah, let me let Jake go. Go ahead, Jake.
The only thing I gotta say is, man, we're all Panther fans at the end of the day, man. Every single one of us, everybody in this panel, we're all Panther fans, man. Some of us is more passionate than the others, man. You can't dog somebody because you're more passionate than the other, man. We're all Panther fans, man. We're all coming off of a 2-15 fucking season, man. It is.
Nobody happy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody in this panel is happy that we're coming off a shitty ass. We are the laughing stock of the NFL right now. That's just it is what it is, man.
It don't get worse.
But we are all gonna be fans at the end of the fucking day, man. That's all I gotta say, man. Keep pounding,
man. I just want something good to happen this year, man. I'm tired of us fighting each other, man. Like, why are we fighting each other? We should be fighting.
I don't know.
Fan bases of
why he's yelling at me every
No, we need to be fighting fan bases of other teams, bro. We need to be shitting on Saints fans and shit. We need to stop fighting amongst each other. But the damned of it is, that's not gonna happen until the Panthers start winning football.
Yep, that's all them.
It's just not gonna happen until the moment.
Let me add one more thing.
I no longer think it's going to change then. I think there's too many people. There's too many people who want to prove themselves right.
Can you understand?
Doesn't matter if Bryce.
That's true.
And understand, I don't believe this is going to happen. So nobody get their corn cob up her ass about it. Okay. If you unless it pleases you, and if it does, that's your business. I don't want.
We don't do it.
We don't want to know about it. Now, if Bryce leads us to an undefeated season and we win the Super Bowl 5 years in a fucking row,
and no one should be talking.
Still going to have people that's going to get up there kicking and screaming that Bryce sucks and CJ Stroud is king because I said so.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not a data analyst guy myself. Fact is, when my man Strats first started coming on here, I didn't like it because he was too analytics, but I gave him a chance because in my heart I said he's a fan, and now he's one of my best buddies. So
thank you.
He has his opinion. If I need to know something about analytics that I don't understand, I know who to ask.
Oh yeah, that's our data guy, man.
That goes for me too.
Oh yeah, Strats is a homie, man. Yeah, and look, man,
changes your way of
bro,
thinking. I
like,
really appreciate it.
like,
It
look,
does,
man,
and
I'm
it's
telling
not
y'all.
going anywhere. So we might as well
But
accept
listen,
it.
Hell no, I don't like it, but
Amen.
it is
Yeah,
what
but
it is.
listen,
I
right?
appreciate
I
it.
never liked all the passing
But
that team started
but let
doing,
me
but I
but
realized
let
it
me
wasn't going
Go
anywhere.
ahead,
So
Cole.
accept
but look, let me say this to Pickle. It's like what Deez was saying earlier about the community that we built. I want y'all to be able to say whatever the hell it is. If you're somebody like C Dog who says I don't fucking like Bryce and I'm not gonna like him until he does something good for me
That's
and this
fine.
team. Yeah, that's for him to say. That's for him to think. And
The irony is
the
we're on
whole
the same
point,
page, though.
yeah.
We're on the
And
same
like
page.
I just
agree
want to
with
make
you.
sure that we all maintain that our opinions are like our assholes. Everybody's got one, and they all stink. Okay, we all know. Yeah, they all stink as
Some
hell.
of them smell better than others, though. You know.
But you know what? Y'all know what's the sad thing about this, man? We really can't judge none of our talent. We can't judge the new tight end we got. None of the receivers until we get a quality quarterback. We really can't
Agreed.
say what we got.
Well,
That's true.
Bryce could be a quality quarterback. We don't know the answer to that.
Oh my God!
If Bryce turns it on this year, that's when we would know. If he doesn't, then yeah, we're gonna be waiting to see it a little bit longer. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna welcome someone in, man. It's my homie. This man has one of the best Panther personalities, bro. I am welcoming him to the free for all. It's my man C3 D Money. D Money, what's up?
What's going on, my C3
What's up,
family?
D?
My man, how you
D
doing?
Money?
What's going on?
What up?
What's
What
going
up?
on?
Hey, how you living, my brother?
Man, I'm sitting here, I'm listening about analytics and I'm listening about tape, right? And while I'm sitting here having my herbal meditation about it,
Hey
I
man,
came
likewise.
I'm putting me one in the air right now, man.
I came to an epiphany. Y'all are arguing about the exact same shit because they go together. You know what I'm saying? Because on the analytical end of it, that's the data of what they did. So it's factual. The tape is a visual showing of that data. So you really don't get one without the other. It's just everybody has a trust in one a little bit more than the other. That's simply what it is. Like my man, he trusts the tape.
Yeah.
The tape shows him consistent tape and film. That's what he relies on. My man Straps, he likes to sit, delve into the numbers, look at the probabilities and ratios. All of it is great. But when you put them things together, you got the brightest picture of it. So I understand why you go get the football people to analyze the film. But then I also understand why you go get the numbers guys to cipher through the analytics. And it all just goes in this
All that
beautiful.
shit's necessary.
Bro,
Mary,
it
can I add this
All
point
this is
in?
just absolutely necessary. So one really can never discount the other. Did Bryce complete a lot of passes down the field? No. It shows on both ends. When we start talking about did he make one deep down the field or not, that's just potato or potato. Because at the end of the day, the fact was there was no offensive production, period. You could ask the same question, how many short yards did he complete? Not many when they was picking him up off the ground. So really, that just becomes a whole junk of semantics, and I want to win a fight. Yeah, you
No,
know
you're
what I
right.
mean?
You're
You see what
100%
I'm saying?
right.
But at the end of the day, I understand. I understand completely because to me personally, I feel like I see more of what's going on in the game off of the visual end. And then I use the number and the analytics to support what I saw.
Right.
But everybody has a different approach when it comes, to their how they consume their football. It's just
Yeah.
for me being a little bit older, and when I played high school football and so forth, we were watching VHS tape film, and that's how we were game planning for opponents and so forth. So
Yeah.
I understand the visual end of it all. But then as I started getting older and the analytics started settling into football, and I saw where it did help me understand some things better by seeing the numbers and the ratios and how many times they're running this way and so forth and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's neat. It's just I feel like at the end of the day, it's a very happy marriage. It really is.
Yeah. Hey, before y'all respond, I want to give a quick thanks to Nirvash for the collective $10 love bomb. He says, we just have to watch more games to get a better verdict on Bryce. Nobody's going to convince anyone who already has a strong belief on Bryce. He also goes on to say, I'm not a Bryce fan, but he can be a lot better with a better supporting cast and coaching. Jared Goff was similarly bad in his rookie year. Bam, bro. Nirvash hit the nail on the head. That's what we're hoping for. That's what everybody's hoping for. I don't want to do this shit again. I would rather Bryce prove everyone wrong than prove all of his doubters right and have to do this whole draft a quarterback shit again. So just like last year, and I'm going to let Bryce have the opportunity to win me over. It's not like I have a choice in the matter anyway, like what Pickle was saying. I'm going to give him the opportunity to do so. If he fails to do it, well, that's a conversation we'll have when it comes time to have it. Let's go Strats and then Pickle.
Thank you. Thank you all for rewording some things. You're saying things better. Maybe sometimes I don't convey points very well. You're saying things very well that I wish I had said to begin with. But effectively, I've portrayed this concept of me trusting the data more than I do watching the film. And that's not the case. I actually use both. Right. In a perfect world, this is where it comes into data science. In a perfect world, there would be numbers that you could use and rely on for everything. But our math isn't perfect. I can go down the list. There's lots of things why you can have look at it this way. In data science itself, where I work, there's people that get hired all the time that I interact with, and I look at them like, how the fuck did you get this job? Because you don't even know what you're doing. So there's multiple layers to this where people, they're using the wrong data. When they're using their data, they're coming to the wrong conclusions because it's not a complete data set. And and this is even more complicated. How many times have I told you that there's relationships within teammates and coaching and staff? Yeah. Those are very hard to quantify. So you need to have some films for this because maybe in the future, in like 150 to 3,000 years from now, we might have the advanced mathematics to be in all of the stuff to be able to use pure numbers to a certain extent. We don't have that now. So we have to go with what Dee was saying, where effectively you're using the film, but you're also the analysis is on the side, and you're only leveraging the analysis for when you absolutely know that it will make sense to use, and you're only using the film for when you absolutely know that it's going to make an impact in your decision as well. So it's both in the same sentence. And I got so frustrated with you, C-Dog, because it felt to me like you just wanted to just hang one out to dry, and there's a poor choice of words. Just leave one out in the other side of the field and not even touch it, and just like not even mention it, not even talk about it. And that to me is what I mean. It's two topics in the same concept that we should be striving to look together, how they marry and unite. Right. It's not one or the other. It's both together.
Well, like, can I give an example here? Like, let's say the data says that we're only averaging 3.2 yards per carry on inside zone runs. Okay. Now it's up to your coaches to take that data point that we know is real, we know is true, and now as coaches, we have to find the greater context behind it. Well, is it that our guards aren't getting enough push? Are they not minding their gaps? Or is the running back too hesitant? Is it not hitting the hole when the hole is available? Is he juking to traffic? Or is it the quarterback checking into loaded boxes when he shouldn't be, right? You would ideally want a detailed set of data and analytics and coaches that are going to be able to look at all that data and say, okay, this is what the numbers are telling us. Why is it this way? And what do we need to do to build upon it? And I think that's what David Tepper has been hoping to find, that best of both worlds coaching staff. Like someone that is able to do both of those things, evaluate the talent, and you have someone on the data and analytics side that can break down some of these things. I think that you see that kind of split with Brant Tillis and Dan Morgan. Dan Morgan, a former All-Pro inside linebacker, the most tackles in Super Bowl history. You bring him in for his ability to evaluate, yet you bring in a Brant Tillis to come in to be able to manage the contracts, some of the data points. To me, it seems like they're finally starting to build what David Tepper has always talked about wanting to build in this scenario. I think I saw Deez raising his hand. Go ahead, Deez.
Hey, real quick, after these, man, I want to say something when these get done, if I can,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, C-Dog. You straight, man. Go ahead.
Real quick, man, with all this data and analytics, man. Now, if y'all remember when Matt Rule was here, man, he got fired and got them Steve Wilkes took over. Steve Wilkes said nothing. He ain't say nothing about no data, no analytics. He said we got them gonna run the fucking ball and we're gonna play goddamn good goddamn defense. That's what I'm saying, man. Y'all got them overthinking this shit, man. We already got them running fucking football team, period, anyway. That's what we've been the whole time we've been in the goddamn league. We've been a goddamn ground and pound, goddamn running team, and we play goddamn good defense.
That's true.
I'm with you on that.
God damn, man. Like,
Well, I
what are we
agree with
talking
that.
about here, man?
Well,
What I'm
I
saying
agree with
is,
that.
but I'm sorry, but Steve Wilkes said come up with no analytics. That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, come on, stop making this shit more than what it is, man. We're talking about fucking football, man. It's
But
football.
analytics has always been a part of football, though, too, at the same time, C-Dog. Analytics will always be a part of football. It always has been, it always will be. I mean, I know you don't like it,
They
but
just never, they never did it out
say
in
it.
the open. They never
Yeah, that's
talked
why
about it
yep.
a great deal.
Yep.
Until now. And back in the olden days, I have to say the olden days, the head coach did it all. Now the head coach don't do it all. He's got too many assistants, and you got office people interfering in it and giving him advice, and they ain't, to my opinion, they ain't but a few head coaches in the league that have the power to tell the analytics guys to go away.
Hey, real quick, my boy Hampton Howie, he added me on Twitter and said he saw Brady Christensen out in the wild, and he said that man is built like a tackle, y'all. I'm just telling you.
Damn, he really is.
Yeah, he got them tackle legs, bro.
He played in center
Hopefully
this
healthy
year.
legs.
He
Healthy
played
legs.
backup
Ass in the
center.
middle of the field, pickle.
Hey, hold on. Wait, I wanted to ask though. Now that I got C Money, my man C Dog in here and my man D Money, I wanted to get y'all's opinion. Let's move away from Bryce a little bit. Do you think that the Panthers can be a good running team this year? And what did you make of our running back room?
Okay, so as far as when we talk about having a competent running game,
yeah,
I'm gonna say yes, because for one, the schemes are going to be different from what we ran last year. Also, there's a lot of talk and highlighting about running what guys do well and trying to learn them in the ways that they do things well. So I feel like, yeah, that's going to take a little time before we get to that niche. But when you're saying that's like Chuba, even with how the line was pretty raw last year and didn't have anything going for it, he had a pretty strong year. Now, you take that into consideration that you're going to have Chuba, who, as far as we know right now, is healthy. Miles, who we know, as far as we know, is healthy. Brooke, who is going to be on the mend and probably ready by training camp, hopefully. And then we're still talking Blackshear for right now, and we don't know how other things will play out, even for Penny in certain situations. With you having so many legs, so much horsepower to put out there. Also, you added 665 pounds to that interior line. And everybody has looked at some video on Hunt. And they have looked at some video on Lewis. And you can't tell me that you haven't seen a man getting knocked in the dirt on a lot of running plays in them games. So the opportunities will be there. The question is going to be is when it comes to third down situations, how we respond in the passing game. I feel as far as the running game, that's like Novocaine, baby. Eventually it's gonna break through. So I'm not worried about that at all. Like if you got guys that have fresh legs and they're healthy, and you got big old gorillas up down there that's willing to sling some guys around, you're gonna have a running game. It's just gonna depend on how disciplined you are as a play caller when it comes to those situations, when it comes to passing the ball. Because if you really look at it, Miles could end up being really just the guy that catches the ball out the backfield. Chuba is kind of the main guy getting the ball early on. Brooks could be that third down guy. Penny can be the short distance guy. And you can flip them combinations however that you like it. But you're taking less decision making out of Bryce's out of his wheel set. And I understand you say if a quarterback wants to get better, he's got to be in them situations. That's cool. That's fine. But also in the same breath, I'm getting paid to win football games. And the logical junk is he did not have a good season last year. I got to protect what we got going on to have an opportunity to build it. So, yes, as the season does go on, yeah, I do want to see some improvement. But handing the ball off to 5 different cats, if that's going to get me at least a 500 record at some point of the season, you know what? Cut a kicker, cut another safety, cut another corner, cut whoever you got to cut, and get me 3 more running backs so we can hand it off even more. And then on top of that, let's be honest. That is our identity. I don't understand why people sound so surprised or so discouraged when they keep hearing this thing about running the football. That's what we've been doing.
Could we trade it up? Could we trade it up to get this quarterback? That's why, man.
He didn't mention that.
And to be quite honest, at the end of the day, it would be nice to have old sexy flexy quarterback to throw out there and peacock around there and all that, right? But at the end of the day, and I said this on the Spaces the other night, Joe Flacco, Trent Dilfer, Jake Delhomme, these are not some very attractive quarterbacks, right?
Hey, hold on, man. Hold on, man. Jake Delhomme balled out in the Super Bowl, man. Stop it, man. He balled out, man.
Bruh, if you would have let me finish, I was going to say that every single one of them dudes led their team to the Super Bowl. So we ain't got to have a dude that's doing Patrick Mahomes things. We just need a dude to do some Carolina Panther things. So, yes, I'm all for running the ball.
100%.
Man, Bryce Young not even Jake Delhomme, though, man. So Jake Delhomme got this slinging that motherfucker.
Why are we stuck on Bryce? We're not even talking. We're talking about run game. What are we doing here?
Man, we not
because you can't move forward. It's what I was trying to get earlier in the show, and people don't understand. A person mentally has to move on to the next topic. If you can't, you're never going to get past A. If you can't move past your first, do people like Bryce? No. Some people hate him. I understand that. If it was up to me, we would have never drafted him. But last time I looked, they don't call me and ask me my opinions.
Hey, here's a good question for all y'all. Here's a good question for all y'all. And I think this is on the subject. Shout out to Nirvash for the 5. Says, I'm curious how much faith y'all have in Corbett and Christensen being the options at center. How confident are y'all feeling okay about center?
Cody, you keep rephrasing this question. Why don't you answer this one?
Well, so, and again, we wanted to draft a center because we felt like, well, I know a lot of people in the fan base felt like Austin Corbett didn't necessarily have a ton of experience at the center position, and neither does Brady Christensen. So it's not like I can say that somebody's unfair or unjust for having doubts about our center play because we don't know what it's going to look like. And we are hoping that either Corbett or Christensen is going to be a Band-Aid. Now, both of those dudes are kind of big to be playing center. Like, bro, y'all see Christensen on the screen. Homeboy is every bit of 6'7". Like,
he's 6'5".
No. I thought it was. Are you sure? Man? I thought it was like 6'6", 6'7".
He's like 6'6", I believe.
Yeah, I think.
No, man, he like 6'5", 310, man.
Whatever, man. All I'm saying is that this dude is too tall traditionally to play
center.
Yeah, so it's like I would prefer to see him.
He's 6'6", labeled on Pro Football Reference. For everyone
Yeah,
that needs to know.
NFL.com and NFL, or excuse me, Panthers.com. He's 6'6".
Yeah. So again, man, that's like what you're not supposed to be a 6'6" center. So I have more faith in Corbett than I do Christensen. I think Christensen is a tackle, and I think it's a disservice that we haven't had this man playing tackle for us sooner. I'm telling y'all, this man.
I agree, Cody. I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree.
last
on that
season,
train.
I'm telling you, he did not lose a one-on-one rep against Brian Burns like a season or two ago when they were giving him snaps at left tackle. That man didn't lose one snap against Burns. So it's like, I wish they would have given him the opportunity. I do not think it's going to be at center. But I do think that with the addition of Hunt and Lewis, if they're able to be healthy, I think that Corbett can be serviceable. I don't know if he'll be able to stay healthy enough. That's another thing. Corbett's been hurt. So if he can stay healthy, I think he'll be okay with the addition of Hunt and Lewis next to him. But we can't be sure, man. We can't be sure until we see them out there on the field playing.
Well, why did he spend 6'4"? I want to say like 6'4", 320.
Strats has to jump off. Yeah, just well, whenever anybody needs to go, just we're probably only going to go about another 20 minutes anyway. I said we weren't going to go to 10, and here we are, fucking.
But it's
we're here now, Cody.
Right? We're all.
It is. No,
Can I say one thing?
If it wasn't a good show, if we weren't having a good discussion, I would have cut it off a while ago. So
I know.
No, we're having a great discussion. Yeah, you're right. But no, go ahead, Josh.
Y'all know there's been 4 NFL centers considered Pro Bowl centers at one point or another. That's been 6'6".
All right,
there you go, right there.
Cody, I'm in the minority, but I like it.
Listen, if we
I like putting this big ass down there in the
Brandon
box.
Leonard and Mitch Morrison.
If we learned anything from Steve Smith, it's that height doesn't matter. If you got the fucking will to play the game, it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
It's nice to have.
All right, so
Yeah.
y'all say he's 6'6", right? He's 6'6". You put him beside those two guards, and I swear to God, we could have a formidable run game. I would love to see it.
But at the same time, you put all these tall guys up there. Somebody needs to get on the knees so Bryce can hop on it. On their back.
You gotta find them throwing lanes, baby. Fuck that.
All I
Hey,
want
hide
to say
back
is
there.
this. I just want to say. Sorry, Cody. Did you want to say something?
He said hop on.
But let me say something.
Okay, I had one.
My bad. Stretch.
Go ahead.
Let me. We'll go Strats. See, and then I got to introduce somebody into the show. Go ahead.
All right. All I want to say is we are all on the same team. All right. Don't forget that. All right. There's no need for us to ever. And I apologize if I was rude to you, C-Dog. I wasn't trying to be. I just wanted to see you look at it from a different perspective. And effectively, all I'm saying is we're all fans of the same team. There's no need for us to be arguing. If we got some anger, let's direct that towards something else. Let's direct that toward maybe another team we're gonna play. How about this? Let's direct it toward when we play Mahomes in whatever week that is we're going
Or
toward.
Chicago.
Right? Exactly. Let's direct it toward that. C-Dog, for the record, I actually agree with you. I am not a big fan of Bryce. I'm not. But I just wanted to be clear on you got to give him the moments that he did execute. We do need to paint that picture. We need to at least remember it because it is a factor in the greater scheme of all of this. Okay? That's it. That's all I got to say.
Yep. All right. C-Dog, go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say I like. The moves with bringing in the guards, but them not addressing the center. It was some centers that was still on the board in the draft that we could have got. That's the only reason I didn't like it.
I agree with that, sir.
Because Corbett, they ain't never played center, and he hasn't been staying healthy. Then you gonna tell me you gonna put Brady Christensen there? He never played center. We should just went ahead and just got us the center in the draft. But besides that, I like all the guys.
My bad.
No, I mean not nowhere I've seen. Even on other platforms, they say he ain't never played center before. He always played guard.
Yeah, that's why I don't. That's why.
I looked that up real close. If I can interrupt, I looked that up real close. My brother's a big Browns fan. Okay, and well, he used to be. He ain't really now, but he used to be. He said when Corbett was drafted by the Browns, whenever he was drafted, I think 5-6 years ago. I think it was in 18. But anyway, when he was drafted, his rookie year, he was drafted. He played tackle in college. When he came into the NFL, they told him he was a center. They moved him to center. But they had a couple guys in front of him, and they drafted him in the second round, so they didn't want to get rid of him. But they moved him between center and guard as like a swing guy for some of his rookie year. He never actually took a snap at center, but he practiced at center for that little bit of his rookie year until later in that season when he started at guard. And the very next offseason, a different coaching staff took over in Cleveland and traded him to the Rams. That's
so
how
either way, we're still talking about between the two of them, not a whole lot of snaps at center at all. So I understand, C-Dog and everybody else that, I mean, how many times did we take a center in the second round? I
hyped it up early.
Every draft.
I kept screaming at everybody we had to take a center.
Hey, but hang on. I want to introduce somebody. We got Trigger B. Smith up in the show. Welcome to the Free For All, brother. How are you, man?
Yo,
welcome to the
C3 fan. What up, man? What up? Can y'all hear me?
What up?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, say, look, check this out, man. For the first time in a long time, I'm feeling good about what we did this off season. I mean, we were 2-15 last year. We're not gonna fix every hole. I'm like y'all. I was disappointed we didn't take a center because we put all that money in the O-line, and it's like, boom. If Corbett gets hurt, then where's the return on the investment? If we got guys coming straight through the center. But I kind of like that guy that we signed, the undrafted free agent guy, the Andrew Ryan. I think he got a good shot at making the roster. Yeah, so the shit, man. As far, he's a center. So like we're gonna have some receivers that can get open. We're gonna have a receiver that can make some tough catches and get downfield, which I think will help the running game even more. And I mean, for the first time in since Tepper taking over, I'm not going what the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Every other week, every other day. So
it's now you can see the vision. You can see the vision. Yeah, man.
I can see the vision, man, and I'm a believer in Bryce, man. We got somebody that's accurate with the ball. That's all I really care about. I mean, he can make a play here and there. We don't need him to be great. He can run when he needs to. He can put guys on skates. He can put it in some tough windows. So, I mean, we just got to build around him. And the number one question was, could he take a hit? We seen that. We ain't seen nothing else.
Bro, he passed that test with flying colors, man.
Flying colors,
that man got pancaked.
They were beating him. Hey, even C-Dog, man. Nobody can say that Bryce ain't tough. Say whatever you want about him, man, but nobody can never say that he ain't tough.
I can't say he can't take a hit.
We got a true quarterback whisperer at coach now. You know what I'm saying? Not no fake.
Oh my
game done passed him by. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm believing in Dave Canales. Everything he's done so far, I've been a fan of. I like what Dan Morgan has done, even though I didn't necessarily understand all of the draft moves at the time. I like the players that we've got. I think that we're doing okay right now, man. I think this year we're gonna know, and we're gonna know who Bryce is, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. We're gonna know who Bryce is, good or bad. We're gonna know what direction to move, and I'm with you. I'm hoping that we're moving in the direction of Bryce. I don't want to do this whole drafting a quarterback thing all over again. I want Bryce to work out,
And I'm a huge Alabama hater, by the way. So
hell yeah, I'm a Clemson fan.
I'm gonna put that out. I hate.
Hey, man,
I'm a Clemson guy, upstate South Carolina.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Go Tigers, man. I'm a Clemson guy.
That's my guy. Go Tigers.
I got a question for everybody in here. The Tua with the Dolphins. Do y'all think the Dolphins could win a Super Bowl with Tua?
No.
I think it's possible. I don't think
that's going to win the Super Bowl at all.
C-Dog's so spicy, bro. It's like, y'all know.
He is. He owned it tonight.
Bryce
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
If we're going by Alabama,
I love it.
My man, look, if you watching the playoffs, that playoff game this past year, man, Tyreek Hill had to wait for the ball in that inclement weather. Oh man.
We can say the same thing about Lamar, though. I will say this about Tua. Like, we can all agree that Tua looked like he was out of his element, right? Did it not look like it was too big for him? The same thing could say about Lamar in his last
No,
like,
man, he can't push the ball. He can't push the ball, man.
Don't get me wrong. I think Lamar's way more talented than Tua. I'm not saying that Tua's, I'm not saying Lamar is worse than Tua at all. He's definitely better than Tua, but
man, Tua ain't got the arm strength to push the ball downfield in inclement weather. Go back and watch the same play I'm telling you about right now.
Can Miami make plays in inclement weather? Can anybody on that offense survive in that?
Hey, but you know what?
They didn't win.
But you know what, though? You know what the Dolphins were able to do? They were able to run the football.
That's true.
And see, my only thing is, I hear your comparison, brother, and I've been making that same comparison for 2 or 3 years. That Bryce is basically the same thing as Tua. However, you can't look at the Dolphins and say that Tua didn't take a step this last year and what they built for him. They just had to put the type of talent around him. You're going to have to protect him. If they can protect him and he's still not hitting receivers, yeah, then bro got to go. But
that's what I'm telling you. Tua is better than Bryce.
See, all I'm saying is just like they gave Tua the opportunity to run the football and protect him, we have to do the same thing for Bryce before we know if he's the dude or not. And I feel like we're doing that this year, so we're gonna have our answers soon, man. I really feel that.
There's no way you really think Tua's better than Bryce, bro.
He's better than Bryce. He don't even have a live arm. That's what I'm telling you.
No way, bro.
And he can't even push the ball down the field in inclement weather.
Bro, Bryce can even throw the ball better than Tua, further than Tua.
My man, go watch the play. All y'all want to talk, but go watch the tape, man.
The
tape. And Tyreek Hill waiting for the ball, sir, because he can't push the ball that weather, sir.
Pickle, you know
it's Hall of Fame players that say this, sir.
Look at Pickle.
Hall of Fame players. Come on, man.
Stop, bro.
What we talking about?
Please. Quit calling me fucking sir.
No, I'm not calling you son. I don't have no kids, sir.
God damn.
So look.
Hey man,
bro. There was nobody. Hold on. There was nobody waiting for Bryce's throws. They were all overthrows. The only person waiting on throws was Tyreek Hill from Tua Tagovailoa. That was the only fucking person, bro.
In inclement weather. That's what I'm telling you.
All right, bro. All right.
Well, it really don't matter because Tua stubs his toe when he walks out on the field and he goes to a 3-week IR. If Tua farts backward, he goes to a 2-week IR.
Yeah, Tua doesn't.
And I really don't give a damn if Tua retires today and never plays again. I really don't give a damn. So I just want to say something. No matter how, no matter how you want to bitch, at the very bottom line,
thank you.
If Bryce ain't it, the next quarterback may be.
Thank you. I mean, I'm there too, bro.
Because I had to wait that damn long. The very worst thing this pathetic team did was to draft a quarterback when they wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And they traded up to draft that, man. And that's all that makes it worse. All right. They weren't ready for a quarterback. They flat out weren't ready for it.
Bingo.
Now, that being said, I want Bryce to work because I'm 56. I don't want to wait till I'm 80 before we start winning. All right. I really don't. Now, that being said,
I'm gonna ask a
as
question.
much as people want to believe it in their heart and their little butt about it, if Bryce don't work out, I don't think David Canales is gone. I think David Canales is here for the long term because he connects with the players, and I don't think they're going to. And I know it's going to upset people, and I have yet to give a damn. So no, you start now. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback next year. So I think you get your corn cob in an uproar about it. I don't think it's going to happen. My own personal opinion. I don't think there's a quarterback worth drafting next year.
Not even the year after.
So when they draft one, they'll draft one. Now I can highly see them go getting a free agent next year, if need be. But all that being said, it's all on Bryce. Because gone are the excuses. You ain't got a good coach, you do now. You ain't got good players, you do
That's
now.
what I've been
You ain't
saying.
good offensive line, you almost do now, or you probably do now.
It's
So
prove it season.
It's proven.
It's prove it season, and
Right.
we need
For a lot of
everybody to come
players.
out here and prove it. Hey, hey, I wanted to let my man Trigger B. Smith get off a little bit before we had to leave. My fellow Clemson fan, I appreciate you joining, bro.
Yes,
you were gonna
sir.
say
Yes,
something.
sir.
You were gonna say something, so I wanted to let you finish what you were gonna say. But then I was gonna ask you, do you feel that the Panthers could be an elite running team in 2024?
First thing I was gonna say to the Tua stuff, man. I watched that man get skunked in the national championship with Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Damian Lewis, Najee Harris. If Bryce had that talent, I don't think he's losing a national championship 44-17.
Hell no, bro.
That's number one. Number two is
Man, Cam Newton won a national championship by himself, sir.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Cam Newton is a generational quarterback too, bro. We ain't never seen no quarterback have a season like Cam had at Auburn, bro. So I mean, I can't.
Y'all giving all these excuses for this bum motherfucker though. Stop it, man.
Let him get off. Let him get off. See, let him say his thing, man.
Ain't no excuses. It's just an observation, bro. Like I'm not gonna sit here and expect Bryce to do what Cam did, and I only seen one quarterback do what Cam did. So when somebody sets a bar that high, I can't expect anybody else to do that because that's not normal, bro. I think it was like two NFL players on that roster. Cam put that team on his back. We seen Cam do the same thing here. I'm not expecting somebody to have a 15-1 season like Cam did here. He set the bar so high. You know what I'm saying? He's most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. He's a DN playing quarterback. You're not gonna see that every year. So, do I think we can be an elite running team? Really, I think it's possible because we got the running backs, we got the O-line. The question is, what's the passing game gonna be like? Because if teams can just sit down and load the box and force us to pass, then no. I think the running game will go far as the passing game allows it to go. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with Big Man too, bro. We wasn't ready to take no quarterback last year. Scott Fitterer sold us this wolf ticket that we were a quarterback away. And with a healthy Austin Corbett, healthy Brady Christensen, a DJ Moore, Tuba and Devontae Foreman, yeah, we probably were a quarterback away. But you take away Corbett, you take away Christensen, you take away DJ, you take away Foreman, and bro, we're far from a quarterback away. Like I feel like last year we got worse at every position except safety. You know what I'm saying? We got worse at running back, we got worse at receiver. I knew we were starting the season without Corbett and Christensen, so I felt like we got worse on the O-line. And that was just like the most terrible position to put your rookie quarterback in. And we honestly couldn't afford to trade up, but we did it anyway. But hey, shout out to Fitterer not being here no more. Hey, and I'm glad Dan was there to see like the worst roster in the league. He's been in the front office to see success. He's been in the front office to see how not to do it. So I mean, and Dan I trust. So yeah, I think we could be a decent running. I think we could be like top 15 rushing team, but it's a passing lead right now. Would that lead to a lot of wins? I don't know, because you got to be able to throw. And I always tell people, man, look, the closest we ever came to a Super Bowl is when we had Musa Muhammad on the outside, Steve Smith on the other side, Ricky Prohl. We were a great running team that year, but Jake Delhomme still had like over 300 passing yards in the Super Bowl. That's what it takes. You got to be able to line up and throw for at least 300 against an elite defense, if need be, on a consistent basis. If you want to get to where we want to go, which is the Super Bowl, we're gonna have to be able to sling that rock against anybody. So I like where we headed. I like where we headed, but we're still gonna need some elite wide receivers because I believe in Bryce, but at the same time, what people got to realize is every rookie quarterback or every second-year quarterback has a better receiving core than Bryce still. Levis is going to have Hopkins. He's going to have Ridley.
Hopkins is too damn old. And
my man,
Ridley's
that's excuses. Those are excuses, my man. Those are excuses. Yes, it is. I mean, C.J. Stroud made his receivers better. C.J. Stroud ain't had no Pro Bowl receiver.
Bro.
Man, Nico Collins ain't never made a Pro Bowl. Come on, man. Stop it.
Nico Collins is a 6'3" wide receiver that runs a 4.3. Nico Collins is a 6'3" wide receiver that runs a 4.3. Most of
it ain't never made a Pro Bowl.
Most of those guys typically average.
Look, man. Everybody talking over each other. I had to drop the rock on y'all, boys. Look, here's what we're going to do. It's getting to almost 10. We can sit here and bitch about Bryce Young for the next fucking 10 years.
1 century.
No, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go one by one. I'm going to call your name. I'm going to let you get off your final words for the show. Speak your piece. Say whatever you have to say. Don't interrupt anybody. Let them get their words off. Once again, we appreciate y'all, man. We couldn't do the free-for-all without y'all making this show as fun as it is. We appreciate y'all. I'm going to start with my new guy, my Tiger brethren, Trigger B. Smith. I appreciate you, bro. I hope you come on more. We do this every Friday at 7, man. Give me your final thoughts. Yeah, man, give me your final thoughts on the for the show today, man.
Final thoughts is, man, I'm looking forward to the season. But at the end of the day, I want a Super Bowl, man, and you got to have an elite tight end, an elite wide receiver, and I don't think we still searching for that. We hoping Legette becomes that. I'm hoping Deontay Johnson can become elite. But man, give me 2 elite receivers. Give me that Steve Smith, Musa Muhammad connection duo, and then I'll be feeling like we can beat anybody.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, come on the show again, man. I need some. Hey, we had too many Gamecocks on the team, bro. I need some backup. I'm a Clemson fan fighting for my life out here, bro. Let's go.
I bleed orange and purple, man.
Yes, sir. You know
I love
do.
Clemson like you do, bro.
Yes, sir. All in.
I don't. It ain't too many Gamecocks where I live. I'm surprised they still come outside.
I know, right? And man, how about these Panthers can't even draft one, man? I don't know what the hell. But all right, man, we appreciate you as always. Next up, let me go to my man Sean. We always appreciate having you on the free for all, my brother.
Thanks,
give me your
man.
final. Yeah, man, you know my Clemson brother. Rocking the shirt.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro. Give me your final words for the show tonight, man.
Man, I honestly, dude, I'm super excited, man. Like, I know I'm not looking forward to nothing but like maybe 5, 6, 7 would be amazing, but anything over that would just be absolutely a godsend, dude. It would just be awesome if we got like 10 wins or something. I'm not looking forward to that. But dude, Dave Canales, I freaking love Dave Canales. I love what he's doing. I love Dan Morgan. I feel like this was like meant to happen, bro. Like, you see him back in 2003 and then 2024, but like 20 years later, he's our freaking general manager, bro. You know, and it just seems like this was meant to happen. I feel like this was just meant to happen, and it might not be this year, it might not be next year, but soon, man. we're gonna be up, bro. We're gonna be at the top of the freaking NFC South, and we're gonna freaking be, dude. I'm hyped, bro. I'm so.
Let's
bro, I'm
go.
hyped. Let's go.
Let's go, Sean. I appreciate you, brother. We appreciate that excitement, that exuberance. Shout out
We
to
need
Key
it.
Divines for the $2. It's Carolina Panthers for life. I
go.
appreciate you, man. Let's go. Next up, my man C Dog, 1983 TV, longtime fan of the show. Hey, Red Swarm, shut your Falcons ass up, bro. Nobody wants to talk to y'all. Fuck them.
Real, what
What's going on, Red? What's going on, Red?
Fuck them whole ass dirty birds. I don't want
Hey,
that.
man, hey, the Falcons can't help but come in here. That after all, they got about 3 quarterbacks and counting.
Man, Swarm just missed talking shit with me. That's all it is. You wanted to come over here and talk
It's
some
all
shit.
love, bro.
I
It's
respect
all
it. I
love.
respect it. I respect it. Yeah, C Dog 1983 TV. We appreciate you, man. Give me your final thoughts for the show, bro.
My final thoughts. I am just excited about this rookie class. You know,
sure.
all rookies, offense and defense. It's the Texas long, the running back, the tight end. I think Legette got to work on his route running. That should be perfect, but I still like him though because he's physical, big, physical, and fast, like a DK Metcalf. You know.
Yep.
So you will see, man. We'll see, man. The only thing about this is even if we do gotta move on, we already ready. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't say now we are a quarterback away. If I do agree with me, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. All right, man. C Dog, I appreciate you as always, man. Swarm says much love. Appreciate you, Swarm. Yeah, we gotta get you on. We gotta get you on the show. Do a Panthers and Falcons run down at some point this year, man. We'll make that happen. Hey, man, we even got a damn who that in the chat, man.
Red Swarm. When you come back on the show, bring Wolf with you.
Nah, you ain't gotta bring Wolf.
Yeah, bring Wolf with you.
All right.
Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but you'll be all right. You'll learn someday.
Jake, my man, I appreciate you, brother. Give me your final thoughts for the show, man.
Oh man, I appreciate being a part of the show, man. It was a great Friday free for all as always. But I just want to say real quick that I know we've had some disagreements tonight. So, I mean, it would be entertaining if we all said yes, I agree with that, I agree with that.
Right.
So having some, so I definitely having some different opinions and personas or whatever. I mean, that's always, it's entertaining, man. You gotta love it. I mean, that's what's great about it. So, like I said, I've had a wonderful Friday. I hope everybody else did have one. So, at the end of the day, keep pounding, y'all.
Keep pounding, brother.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, man. Really appreciate y'all. Normally, I would pass it to the brand ambassador, but he had a very long Friday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let him do his thing, man.
Yeah. Love you, D's.
Love you, D's. Hey, man. Y'all have a wonderful Mother's Day weekend.
You all gonna have a great day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, man. Y'all have a great one. Hug your family. We appreciate y'all spending your Friday night with us. Hope y'all had a great time. I know we did. It was a great conversation provided by the boys. We will be here Tuesday night for another edition of the C3 Panthers Podcast. My name is Cody Lashley. Y'all have a safe, happy, family, fun-filled weekend. And y'all already know what we're about to do, Panther Nation. We about to keep pounding. Let's go.